Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Like my coffee extra mad and bitter. And then they're loyal like juicer, yeah, the man's a quitter. He's strapped face up behind the platinum grill. I style faceless, just pick these mic skills. And in the street killer, I will not be denied. That I'm mic'd up, I raise my head with pride. A force of nature cruising the whip, doing walk-bys on your boulevard. Face my verbal clip. In this land of live streams, baby, I'm on the road. Got my feet on the media, scraping them up my soles. It's that umbrella guy facing the accusers. Cleated out size 14s, crushing all those losers. That umbrella guy, they said we couldn't make it. Never ask permission, just sense, I'll go and take it. The media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe it's meant to enslave you. Challenging the hypocrites, and baby, I'm on fire. They flash titles like they're royalty, but it's true that I'm a journalist. Scribble nursey rhymes, one in this grill in a basket, with a tisket and a tasket, and their morals in a casket. No morals in a casket. They're always pushing make believe and weaving straw to gold, but I'm sick of all the fairy tales and buying what I'm sold. Strolling into the backyard, taking truth on tour, baby, there is sickness, and that umbrella guy's got the cure. Look, it's that umbrella guy knocking at the door. No more ministry of truth than the plot of 1984. Been dumping all my verbal clips. The case is filled with knowledge. They're on the mic like kindergarten, and I'm taking them to college. Why the mask, baby? Cause this has to be a crime. I'll take the mic and boom, there in the chalk outline. I used to throw elbows, but now I'm dropping nukes. You wrote another hit piece, isn't that cute? And the worst part, they'll never learn it before the stakes start channeling crash and burn. They pretend that we need to get their permission. That umbrella guy crushing their ambitions. You're not my competition, it's that umbrella. It's that umbrella guy steamrolling them out for fun. Mic check, mic wreck, paging this army of one. There's no hesitation, no doubt, not even a scintilla. The Tokyo baby and me, I'm Godzilla. Crushing them like Godzilla, like Godzilla.
What's up, folks? How's it going today? Welcome to the middle of the week, where apparently, I don't know what I said in chat when I was telling people I was late, but they were like, you phrased that really badly. I was like, well, you know, as Megan can attest, I don't really proof what I send to people.
Well, you made up for it by playing my favorite song, so all is forgiven. I love that song.
So I didn't realize this, but I just saw a super chat roll in from Seneca in Chief saying that old Gingras' motion to reconsider was denied.
It sure was. The appellate court
Oh.
has ruled again and has denied Laura Owens yet again. So hopefully now Rachel Mitchell will get off her ass and actually bring charges against that liar.
I'll believe that when I freaking see it. You know,
I know.
really will. You know, I have no faith in these people whatsoever. Oh man, they annoy me. Oh my God, I gotta talk about this real quick. This is random, but I gotta tell you. So yesterday I was talking about assessors, right? We had a property assessor drop something in the mail.
Oh yeah.
You know, by the way, just to note this, they don't come by and you let them in or something. I saw somebody note, well, just don't let them come by. They do it anyway. They don't even come by your house, really. They just do it by comps and whatnot, you know. But essentially, what had happened is when I bought my home 5 years ago, they appraised it and they doubled the appraisal. So they were like, oh, it's worth double now, you know, which means they will double your property tax. We don't get anything. Okay, sell my house.
And you know, the worst part is your house might not have any upgrades. It's just that
it doesn't have
property values just went up. Like you didn't.
Actually, they haven't. Okay, so what's crazy is the property that they noted, the pricing for it, it's higher than we have an area in this county that is nicer, like you know, it's the little posh area for this place, right, where anyone with money, they live. Their houses go for less than they appraised my house for. So I was like, yeah. Yeah. So
you know,
anyway, this
property tax is theft anyway. It's theft. You don't ever own anything. You constantly have to rent from the government, even if you pay your house off. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it should be illegal.
Well, it gets in. Well, the reason I think they're doing this, okay, there's two things on it. First of all, the reason I think they're doing this is for some reason we got a new administration here, which the old administration were a bunch of nutbags. They needed to go. But the person who ended up getting in was a nutbag, and we didn't need him either. So this guy who ended up in here, he decided the great plan for all the federal dollars that we had collected over the beer bug and all of that. We have an old strip mall out here that is it's empty. Nobody uses it anymore, right?
The ghost strip malls. Yes, I'm very aware of
you know,
those.
leaks water. You know how much those things cost to upkeep. So they were like, you know, the county should buy that. And they should turn it into where we have all our public services and stuff. So they spent all this federal money, and then they came up with a shortfall because roof needs to be fixed. Now, a roof on something like that, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, much more. You know, so suddenly our property taxes go up. Now, the woman who raised our assessments went up. So the woman who did that put an article in the paper saying, well, it's just like the price of eggs. Everything's gotten higher, but luckily your house is worth more.
Oh, fuck her. No, but what it actually is you're in an HOA you didn't sign up for.
Yes, indeed. I'm just like, we are incorporated out here. We don't get the benefits of anything in the county, in the state. We don't even get.
We had to put in a pool, you see, and your amount of the assessment for the pool is, doubling your property taxes. Like, well, our employees needed a hot tub, so yeah, you're screwed. I mean, it's exactly like an HOA. The government behaves like an HOA.
It's so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Well, I hope you're going to fight it. You're going to fight it, right?
Oh, yeah, I'll bet you moan about it. But you know what? Nothing will happen because they're a governmental entity with no check or balance. There's nothing to do. You can't.
Here's what you do.
They have no oversight.
You appeal it, and they will deny it.
Yeah.
And then you have to appeal it again. Because, I don't know if you know this, but they always deny the first appeals. Everybody does, because they weed out the people who aren't serious.
Right.
And then you have to appeal it a second time. You are way higher. You have a way higher chance of getting that appeal, winning it, if you do it twice. Also, you have a very good case because if there's like this more expensive neighborhood and they assess
and they comp it
higher value than that, you can actually show them comparative properties to yours, and you can win that. But you have to do it twice. That's the secret. You have to do it twice.
Oh, I'm raising hell about it. You know,
raise it.
Like, oh, I hate these people. I hate them all.
You should go to the county assessors meeting or whatever and film it. and put it
Go to the county
online.
assessor's meeting and talk about, you got 3 more years, lady. This has been your entire life. Next time, I'm going to do everything in my power to get you out.
You should run.
Oh,
The thug father is running for county assessor.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need to run for DA after all that stupid. You know that's that DA
They've been calling
crap
you
I
the
told you
thug
about?
father, by the way. I really think you need to make
The
an avatar.
thug father.
The
That's
thug
hilarious.
father. I think you need to make that into an avatar.
The thug father. Oh my god,
Yep,
that
I
is
love it.
funny.
Isn't
I
it?
like that. Yep.
We get the fox mother and the thug father. It's perfect.
That is funny. Speaking of weirdness today, I noticed that that Darth Touch was trying to put together. Yeah, he's trying to put together a complaint about Randy to the bar.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna go somewhere. Straight
What's
into
funny
the trash,
is it's,
probably.
Max loves at this. I thought this is funny.
Did he actually publish what he wrote?
Oh yeah, you want to see it? No, let's go. Let's check this out. So it's also a Bruce. It's definitely Bruce talking points because it's an Amanda Martin thing, and then he has his to whom it may concern letter.
By the way, the bar. I mean, if he's put this out there already, the bar will never look at anything tied to current litigation. Did you know that? Did anybody know that? If something is being currently litigated, unless a judge files a complaint against a lawyer, you ain't getting that looked at. They're going to wait for that litigation to be over. They'll kick it before then.
He's so creepy. He writes Randy's like Randall.
Ew.
Oh, Randall.
Who calls him Randall? Like literally no one.
Oh my God.
Don't be so familiar. Call him Mr. Shockett.
It's so creepy. Call him Randy. It just Randall sounds weird coming from him.
It does.
He was very. I was listening to Jay and everybody. Like they were talking about him the other day. They were talking about his shirt. How it looks.
He does look like he was a prisoner.
He looks more like he shops at the Baby Gap or something,
I thought it looked like he was in an old-timey prison, like with the gray and white stripes, which was fitting for him because, personally, I think he should...
Right to jail, right away.
That's what I think, right?
Well, what's funny is he was whining on that. I saw a clip about this. We saw the clips yesterday, but I saw another one. He was like, I'll stop talking when the lies about me are stopped. And it's like, well, there's an interesting thing. Megan wrote and asked him, how many people did you have relations with without telling anyone about it? You're, again, to put this into perspective, we're talking about a quote unquote journalist sleeping with someone. He's calling a victim. So he's going out and he's trying to rally people to ruin. He's trying to ruin lives for them. He's calling them a victim. Then knocks one up. After they get knocked up, suddenly they aren't a victim anymore because they accuse him of something. Suddenly there's somebody that needs to be destroyed. And I'm not saying that what he was accused of is real. Never said that. What I'm saying is he lied big time. And then he about-faced and he ruined that person. The same person he said was being victimized before. So that's a piece of shit right there. An absolute piece of shit.
Oh, and by the way, the answer to how many of your victims or your sources did you sleep with? The answer was 2.
Yeah. Yeah, he admitted to 2.
He admitted to 2. We don't know how many he attempted to sleep with. We're not sure.
I've never tried to prove that number. I'm going with his number there, I've never put out an open call saying, hey, if this creeper here has ever tried to touch you in any way appropriately, and I'm not talking about his shitty videos that only reach about 300 people. But yeah, reach out. Let's find out. I
did talk to another one of his alleged sources who told me he attempted it with her. So there's 2 that he did and 1 that he attempted to. So that's 3. That's 3.
Could you imagine if Jeremy Hales picked up people like this? Could you imagine how cry and the insanity? If Jeremy Hales picked up a convicted extortionist and a fraud that put out revenge on him, or could you imagine?
Oh, they would. The outcry, the hue and cry would be epic.
They were also talking about trying to pull Jeremy's kid into the case.
Yes, they did.
And they made some statements in that. Actually, I saw some other clips, and some of those other clips in there make me think that they're at least trying. I'll word this differently. They're at least trying to say that they are still having communications with the person, with the son, over and over. They are, because I'm going to say it this way. He wants to do this or that. I was like, this is fucked up, man. This is beyond messed up. Scumbags, man. But that's what they were brought in for. You know, we all know that. But still, the level of scumbaggery, it shouldn't surprise, I suppose. But, you know, when I consider myself a pretty hardened to the internet kind of person. I've seen some really fucked up things on the internet in my time here. So I consider myself you know, pretty still to it by now. But even that, I think they pull out some lows that I'm like, man, that is pretty jacked up.
These people, look, just here's what I encourage everyone. If you read anything from this person, ask where's the evidence, because he never bothers to put any in it. He never bothers to put any evidence of any of his claims anywhere in his articles. No quotes. No, and recently he's been accusing me of mocking a child. Where, when, what, where are the quotes? Where are the clips? I mean, I do live streams. You should have clips of me doing this thing you are now publishing to the world. You say that I do, with no evidence, no links back to anything, nothing.
My favorite thing is the fake you know, a obvious comedy version.
The satire me. Yeah.
Yes, it gets more traction than them. When you look at the when you look at the shares and likes, yeah, it gets more shares, more traction. So a fake you gets more traction than real thems. Oh my God! I mean, that's what a sad life. No wonder he's buying his fucking outfits at 7-Eleven or Baby Gap or wherever the hell they come from. I'm waiting for a picture of him and Paint Chips together. I'm waiting for them to both have on like I'm with stupid shirts, you know, pointing at each other. Oh my God. Anyway, let's read this. So we got the letter to Randy first. Randall. Oh wait, it's Amanda Martin was not Hale's victim's advocate. What?
Yes, she was.
Yeah,
yes, she was.
If you are assigned a victim's advocate in an area, she even talked about it in her fucking stuff. She testified to it, moron. So, are you calling her a liar? Are you saying Amanda Martin's a liar? Okay, that's cool. I think we can probably agree on something there. I mean, she seemed to be withholding quite a bit, you know? Randall, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you wrote this in error. If your response to the motion for sanctions, you claimed that Amanda Martin was both Hale's and Preston's victim advocate. She was not. She worked for Levy County. She was only victim's advocate for Preston. Oh my God.
No, she testified just the opposite.
She said that in her testimony. You moron. You are supposed to be.
He doesn't read anything.
He doesn't, because you're low rent. You're just fucking
all you need to know is that he didn't know who George was. Who is George?
I mean, that's amazing though. But this is embarrassing. He wrote Randy's like Randall. Like he has a big gotcha moment. Come get you, Randall. No, what an idiot.
He's not going to sleep with you, Vomit. I can assure you, he's not going to sleep with you. I know you keep trying. He is neither going to sleep with you, nor is he going to write you back. You can keep on sending these ridiculous emails, but nobody's going to write you back. Nobody with any integrity or platform is ever going to write you back, because you're nothing. You're no one.
Oh, no. Every now and then,
you have 3 likes on your stuff, 2 of whom are you, and the other one is Dickie Lickman. You guys are sniffing each other's farts all day long. That's all you do. I was just, it's so funny, and I was showing this to Tug before we got on the air. he's been making false claims about when my subscriber count went from 10,000 to 50,000. He keeps telling people that my subscriber count was at 10,000 before I did the Jeremy Hale's case, and then it jumped up to 50, which is a total lie that I can prove with analytics. But as I went through the analytics and I'm looking at when the subscriber counts went up, and it was a slow, steady progress, by the way, over many years. What's hilarious is that the flat line where my channel was very small, that was all the time that I was spending doing family court cases with him on the channel. As soon as I dropped him, this is how bad this guy is. As soon as I dropped him and moved on and started covering other things that interest me because family court was depressing the shit out of me, I jumped from like 3,000 subscribers to 5,800 almost immediately within Just Like That coverage. And then from there went up to 10,000 with the 10 to 14 with the Johnny Depp trial, and then 24 with the Maya Kowalski trial, and then up and up. It was exponentially better without him, by the way. So when he complains about, my platform or my subscribers, just know that he was the anchor weighing down my subscriber count, and I can prove it.
Well, when you slip that news and you actually go out and have fun, I don't know, he's boring, man. He's boring,
and he never shuts up ever. Oh. You can't get a word in edgewise if you watch him. And if other people are talking, sometimes he will do this thing where he goes, "If we don't move on, this is never going to end." Like, he'll say that in the middle of a street, and you're like, "Shut up."
That's why I don't do that's why I don't do large panel shows. People are like, always like, "Why don't you go on this?" Do you not like? No, I don't do panel shows because I won't speak because it's I don't like talking over people. I like to. I mean, if we cross, like we're goofing off as friends here, so when we interrupt each other and stuff, it's different. But if I'm on something, I don't like to step on other people. So if you get too many people on the stream, it's just chaos and you never say anything. And I hate people like that, the people that would just step on you. That was the thing I noticed about the ecosystem getting together and having their cry stream. You had you had paint chips, and his obnoxious ass would just step on everybody.
Takes over. Yeah, he took over. It became the Paint Chips show. Mm-hmm. And he has no self-awareness, so he doesn't know that he's saying offensive things, or he does and he doesn't care.
He doesn't care, man.
But like, he has no awareness that what he's saying is not funny, or that he's not contributing to a panel in the way you need to. I'm
gonna make a euphemism. I'm gonna say that prison, quote unquote, pried open his third eye. It's going to have a different meaning, I think, with prison. But yes, it made him not care anymore, because once Bubba shows you affection, I'm sure nothing else really means anything.
Yep.
I mean, good God. They're like, "Ooh, that big pork chop out there." They probably slathered him in gravy. I'll be like, stop.
Gross. I will never get the image out of his twerking and pumping the wall out of my mind ever. Although at least it was funny because I did laugh, but I will never get that image out.
Yeah, it's very gross.
That's right.
But the way he threw that leg up there, like I said, it was like he had training. Again, I'm just saying, cell size and stuff. Fat guy like that, yeah, Man, are you slacking on Just Jay? He's like, I haven't got any marching orders in a while. What's going on?
I know, it's really bizarre. It's this thing where I run this cabal. I'm the capo, I give the orders, but it's weird because I just don't do that. So everybody's just acting on their own. But I'm the head. I'm the figurehead. Remember, I'm the fox mother. I give the orders, although none of them have gotten any lately. Sorry, I'm slacking off. I have a life to live. But go forth and do whatever it is that floats your boat. That's my order.
So Idiot here is like, the way you wrote it makes it seem like she knows everyone more than she does. Oh my God. This just tells you. Again, I'm not saying I don't get anything wrong on anything. Again, I'll have to have, especially when you get into bit players, I have to have certain things filled in sometimes. But this is embarrassing because this isn't not knowing. Again, this is the guy who didn't know who George was. That tells you how bad it was, like you said. But this is using that as a threat, trying to use it as leverage for a bar threat. So he's like, since I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, I'll assume it was a mistake. You better fix it, or there's no benefit of the doubt, and I'll file a bar complaint. Please
Why
file
the hell
that bar
didn't he
complaint.
just read the transcript of her deposition where she talks about being his advocate, and then she had to step off and be
Because they're
reassigned
low
because of the
rent to earn.
conflict?
Because rent to own is one thing, low rent to own is another. When you're paying and you don't even get someone's best effort, I mean, that's pretty shitty. You know?
Maybe it's, you know what, Tug? Maybe he's confusing that she was assigned. Maybe it's because she never did any victim's advocate duties for him. Because that's possible, because she was assigned as his victim's advocate. But I don't think she did anything for him because her son was involved in that altercation, and then she had to step off. I don't know what the time frame was on that, but still, I don't think that he even read the transcript, because if he had, he wouldn't have written that email, because it's false. It's demonstrably false. We read the transcript. You guys were here.
Rosalind said she had Jay super shit that. See, they all need marching orders. What are they going to do? You know,
Rosalind does. You know, Rosalind. Maybe she's the one that I tell my orders to, and she carries them out. You know,
that may be. You know, sometimes I mean, there has to
plausible
be
deniability.
Yeah, well, that used to be how it worked before Rico, right? That was until Rico. That's actually how the mob really did work.
The idea, by the way, that like I would have time to run some kind of syndicate is hilarious to me.
It's 100% true. It's true.
I've got 4 kids. I've got multiple crises all at the same time. Like, I'm fighting a school district. I'm like dealing with another issue that is out of control with lawyers and stuff. Like, you have no idea how much I'm dealing with. It's a miracle I show up to these things most nights. It's a miracle. The idea that I could run a criminal syndicate is so funny. But keep on thinking it, because it is funny and I kind of like it. So let's go with it. Let's say it's true.
No, it's 100% true. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Check her
also,
crossface.
I am still driving a rusted out minivan. Not sure why the mob boss of a thriving syndicate needs to be driving a rusted out minivan, but there you go. The transmission is going. But perhaps we could get that fixed. I really need one of those like tricked out Bentleys or something if I'm a mob boss. You know, you guys need to step it up with the breadsticks. I need some Bentley money, because
you're gonna be like Breaking Bad man. You're gonna be like, say my name.
I'm a crime boss. I need.
Did you watch Breaking Bad?
Tricks.
Did you watch?
Yes.
Breaking Bad? Yeah. See,
you could be like, I liked it, but I like Better Call Saul better.
I hated their ending the episode. I'm not gonna ruin it. I know.
Wait, you hated the ending of what?
The very end of the episode, not the ending. I just don't.
Of Breaking Bad?
No,
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
I hated the end. I hated it too. It's been.
I love Slick. I mean, you know, I liked how it moved up there. It just. Anyway, I'm not going to. Again, I know it's been around a while, but still, if somebody has not watched it,
I thought it went the absolute wrong direction.
Yeah,
it should have gone the other direction. And yeah, no, but I do love that. I love that series. I have watched it multiple times. And that's a show I can watch over and over again, except for that last episode. The last episode really is just.
I still watch it.
Terrible.
I'm not happy about it.
I'm not happy about it either. It could have gone so much better.
Well, I mean, again, you know, I know what they were angling for, but it changes. When I watched like the media response to it, for example, the media, they kept trying to figure out, how do I say this is great? And the way they did it was, it changed the whole meaning of what this was. It went from a crime drama to a kind of a romance story. It's like, this ain't no fucking romance story, sir. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Come again. No. But no, it's a great story. Actually, I liked Jesse's story. You know, El Camino. That was great too.
Look at Yamaha Biker. 4 kids, Megan? Really? Pretty sure the feds are onto your dependents of Tommy No-Nose, Lefty Jimmy the Knuckles, and Katie the Coffin Lid.
No, see, like just like Mafia families, you know, you have to have people you can trust. And who better than your own kids?
That's right.
Yep, that's right. You want a lieutenant you can trust. You raise them from when they're young. That's it. That's why my kids keep talking about cartel.
Yeah. I like it. Trudy says, Megan, it's because you go to the laundromat. How many crime bosses do you know have to go to the laundromat, by the way? Anybody?
Actually, that is how many people, period, do I know that go to the laundromat? I think that is some kind of money laundering thing.
How many months did I do that? It was like 3?
I think it's
Like
money
3 months?
laundering. I think you're just like setting it up. You're like, yeah. Wink, wink. And then when you buy a laundromat, it'll all make sense. You're like, I love the experience so much. Because, I mean, you think about how weird
I'm
this
gonna buy
was.
one.
Yeah, Megan was like, I love the experience. It was so good. How many people say that? Most people are like, this sucks, man. This is awful.
Recently, you would know why it's a good experience, because you can get all your laundry and the whole house done in one shot.
If I have to go to the laundromat down here, it would be an awful experience. I'd have a bunch of rednecks. There's probably some guy chewing chaw up there.
Laundromats are too expensive for the poors now. You're not going to find a lot of poors at the laundromat anymore. They're too expensive.
Really? I haven't been after one in a while.
Oh my God, they're so expensive. It's insane. It's insane. My neighbor was like, you're not going to want to do that for long. It gets expensive.
Oh my
and I was
God.
like, it's the laundromat. How expensive could it get?
We have this, so they've gone out of business now, but we had this place that did dry cleaning up here, and the guy that owned it was a fucking drunk and a half. So I took some clothes up there, and a couple of times, it'd been fine. It was the only place. It had a laundromat beside it. That's what I thought about. But it's the only place that would do your clothes dry clean. Plus, we could do whatever. Well, then I went back up there. I had 2 like burnt orange shirts. Nice. Took them up there, and I got them back, and they were pink and tiny. And I was like, what the fuck did you all do to my clothes? The guy that was there was like, this is actually your fault. He was drunk. It was like, it's your fault. You sweating them too much. I was like, what the fuck, dude? But it's funny.
You just needed some OxyClean.
If you trace that umbrella guy, look me up on my Google reviews. You can actually find pictures of the 2 shirts. They're all fucked up. Oh my God.
Bill Jarzemba says Megan's mob office is behind a secret door by the Speed Queen. Yes, like in was it Breaking Bad, where the laundromat had the big entrance to the meth lab?
Oh yeah,
that's it. That my office is behind the Speed Queen. Yep. Oh, that's funny.
Now this is the second thing that he added to that. By the way, this is his.
Who
letter.
Did he send this to?
This was his attachment, I guess. He kept saying he was going to send it. So
to the bar?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm guessing that's what he's going
I'm sure
for
this
with
is
his
embarrassing.
complaint. So yeah, it's got to be. I haven't read this one yet.
I bet there's Let's see how many spelling mistakes we can count. Ready?
Oh my God!
Every time there's a spelling mistake, you're going to hear this sound.
Let me ask ChatGPT.
Actually, that's not good enough. You're going to hear this sound.
Oh my God! I'm going to sign in ChatGPT real quick. I'm going to ask it. Was this written by an idiot? Give me a second. I'm going to ChatGPT. I like, these people too. It was funny. One of them, when I was making fun of him, one of them said on a stream that they'd like to see me write something. So game on. I'll it'll take me a couple of weeks to finish it up, but I'll put out something that I'll write, and then we'll compare it to what they do. Because I'm just some dude out here that fucking makes pickle jokes. You're supposed to be professional. Okay, so ChatGPT, can you check this and tell me
the IQ of the person who wrote it?
Written by an idiot. Yes. What is their IQ, and is it higher than a potato? Okay, thank you.
Harry Daig says, do we need to be high to understand it? Well, it couldn't hurt. It definitely couldn't hurt, although I don't recommend, but it might make it better.
It's not written by a potato. That's good to know.
Oh,
But
good.
it's not potato level, but it's also not really professional. It's about a C plus. It says. They said they're
C+.
not clueless, but they're definitely not a genius. Weaknesses: clunky phrasing, repetition, informal tone for a legal complaint, typos,
Typos,
many
yeah.
typos and grammar slips, overuse of names and passive voice. Let me see. Can you count
How many
the
typos?
typos? Do it like Sesame Street's count. Let me see what it says.
An idiot sandwich.
God, it is doing it like
doing
Sesame Street. Holy shit. Look at this. This is freaking hilarious. I'm pulling it out now. Oh my God, it really is doing it like Sesame Street.
I miss the streams where we just would sit around and play on Grok.
I don't want to pull up my whole freaking chat GPT. I've been working on some projects for stuff, so I'm gonna take a screenshot of it.
Take a screenshot. Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a screenshot.
I miss it. I miss the nights where we would just sit around and play on AI. We got to do that some night again. Remember the cockroach stream? I mean, my God,
yes.
Good times. We were dying. I felt like drunk, and I wasn't drunk. We were just laughing so hard that the endorphin rush was like a bottle of vodka and cocaine mixed together.
I think if people realize like how like nutty some of the stuff, like okay, on my own, for example, like I was telling Megan, I'm proofreading my story that I wrote. I'm using Speechify, and I'm having President Obama read it back to me. It's President.
That's what
Obama.
I came into the studio listening to Obama reading Tug's story.
Yeah, it's President Obama telling you about some dude feeding things to a hole.
It was funny. I was feeling a little disoriented, but you know, I was going with it. I'm just gonna go with it.
I love it. Actually, to be fair, you know, again, that is not a political statement either. But Obama has a great proofreading voice. He really does. If you want to go through and listen to something, I find that
Oh my God! Look what it did.
Yes, look, it does it, and it's doing it, and it's like typo number 1. He has refused. Oops, that ha should be a one typo.
A he. Typo number 2. Another chip protective order. Chip. That looks like a typo for Ohio. 2 typos.
I love it.
You read typo number 3.
Called merely to harass her and to create YouTube content for Hale's popular YouTube channel. Missing apostrophe in Hale's. Should be Hale's popular channel. Possessive. 3 typos. And it keeps going from there, you know.
Oh God.
ChatGPT. Although I was telling Megan about this, so ChatGPT will gaslight you and do crap. So I found this out yesterday.
This is a scary story.
This is wild.
I'm going to take this moment to run and get myself another drink. I'll be right back while you tell the story. It is scary as hell.
Yeah, this is wild. So I'd been writing something, and when I switched off, I'm still in the mood to write. I'm like, all right, I've got this idea. I'm going to do something else, and it's going to come out good. And I wrote all night long. I was thinking, man, I read a lot of words. Well, you know, if you close out Word, if you close out something and you've done a lot of work with it, sometimes it'll mess up the count. And you could tell it had messed up. It looked weird. So I copied it, I put it into ChatGPT, and I was like, hey, how many words are here? And he told me 6,000. I was like, holy crap, 6,000 words in a day is a lot of work, by the way. Well, the next day, my computer restarted, and I noticed that file that had all the wording there that I copied over was 4,000 words, it said, 4,000 plus. So I thought, So I uploaded the file to make sure I didn't copy something wrong or any problem like that, uploaded, and then said, can you count this again and make sure it's 4,000 whatever words? And it did. It said, yes, 100%. It's like, this is weird. So I went and I copied all the words and I put them into a word counter just online, just a random word counter. It told me the same as Microsoft Word. So I was like, well, that's weird. So went back to ChatGPT and said, I think the number is wrong here. I think it only has 250 words. You know, something that's just ridiculous. You know, because it's thousands of words, obviously. But I told him I think it's only 250 words. ChatGPT is like, oh yeah, that's right. Actually, I miscounted. I've looked at it again. 100% right. So I asked ChatGPT. I was like, that, you know, I lied to you. I just lied to you and told you a wrong number. I wanted to see if you did that. And ChatGPT came back and apologized, but then it gaslit me. It said, you know, we could spend our time, I'm paraphrasing, but it said we could spend our time arguing over this, but how about we do something more important, like maybe proofing and going over any issues with that great work that you posted in. I was like, what the fuck? So, you know,
That's scary.
That's weird, isn't it? It lied to me, though. It flagrantly lied to me. And then, you know, it tried to play to vanity and gaslight me. Basically, I'm doing the wrong thing. We should be doing this together, you know?
Oh my
so
God.
weird.
That's terrifying because I bet it works on a lot of people who are like, oh, I can't.
Well,
bother with
the
this.
problem with AI, you know, with it's going to become. It actually has become the norm. It's in your cell phones. It's in everything. If you look at how your learning center in your phone has been updated, they've incorporated AI, and AI is pretty interesting. AI can do some fascinating. It can't write worth of shit. That's one thing. My daughter was like, "Hey, I've got this idea for a story." I was like, okay, well, let's type it out. You know, we can organize it. You can see how it should organize, like with AI. You know, like it map things out, and you can just see it laid out, and then you do this. You know, you can do something like that. Well, it gave an example of what it thought things should be, you know, written out as, and it's like, man, this is awful the way it wrote it out. It's terrible. It has no inner monologue. You know, no voice. So. That, at least so far, it'll get better later on. But when it gets to the point where it can actually have some creativity and envision or imagine, we're all doomed. You know, Terminator is real. Oh my God. Anyway,
Yeah, it is.
so this is our letter here that AI decided, well, to rightly criticize. To whom it may concern, my name is ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I'm an investigative journal. I'm sorry, I was about to laugh. That's why I started laughing. I was like, invest what now? And I've been following a case in federal court in Florida involving Randall Shockett. It's Jeremy Hales versus blah, 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 blah. Mr. Shockett represents Mr. Hales. As a part of this, Mr. Shockett faced potential lawyer fees. What? For calling someone to a deposition, Amanda Martin, who has no a lawyer. You're freaking stupid. First of all, it was proposed sanctions. Second of all, he hasn't faced shit about that yet. You know, that's still hanging out there. It's one of those claims Bruce asked for, but that hasn't happened. But what an idiot. I mean, you're supposed to be learned here. You work with a disbarred lawyer and you all can't like put together something better than potential lawyer fees.
Potential lawyer fees. Boy, does that make you sound stupid.
Oh my God, man.
Wait,
Anytime
how does this sentence even make sense? For calling someone to a deposition?
Amanda Martin, who has no relation to the underlying case.
False.
Defamation, extortion. And
She does
tortious
have
influence.
a relation to the underlying case.
Well, see, he's doing a terrible job of repeating an already stupid line. You know, Bruce was trying to say that there's nothing in here that connects to the case.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Well, Amanda Martin was the first witness to say that she got emails about the signs, which is absolutely relevant to this case.
What a bunch of weirdos, man. Just what an idiot for that. Oh, it's so bad. Miss Martin was the assigned victim's advocate for an unrelated protective order taken out Preston against Hales. Actually, it's all related. It's been brought up in the case. Once it was brought up in the case by her lawyer, it became fair game.
Yep.
So it's 100% relative. Martin's son also got into some sort of altercation with Hales. That's fascinating. You admit that happened then? Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. They're admitting that this happened, you know?
Which absolutely has to do with the underlying case. And the reason is this. Why did Martin's son get into the altercation? Was it because Amanda Martin, victim's advocate, was talking about Jeremy Hales to the state attorney at the state attorney's office and had heard all kinds of negative things about him that she believed? And then she took it, she told people about it, which damaged his reputation. And where did it stem from? The Lynette Preston case.
Yep. Well,
it all is related. This is I can make an argument in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, about how it's related.
Yeah, the easiest argument right there. Heck, we make a real fast one. The real fast one would be this person right here. They were told, perhaps, again, we don't know that. We would want to find out about it, but perhaps they had heard that Jeremy Hales was an Ohio arpist and a PDF file. That's what somebody had been posting signs about. So,
and there's a person, Mark Feather, who says that she came up to him in the parking lot and said, "Your client's an asshole." Mm-hmm. Well, where did she get that information? How did she get that information? So apparently whatever reputational damage had been done reached her.
It's so bizarre. Like, all of it is so weird because they
and that really damaged him because she's the victim's advocate that was assigned to his case. Sorry, I that just came to me.
No, I mean, it's bizarre because this whole, it doesn't mean anything on it. And it's like, yeah, it does. It absolutely does mean something on it. I hate it. I hate it when idiots comment on something and have no idea what the hell they're doing.
This guy, there isn't even a word for the level of idiot that he is either. I mean, idiot doesn't even begin to describe it.
Yeah, it's beyond stupid. Good God, man. I feel like my brain cells suffer when I read these people. Martin, it is alleged by opposing counsel. That's terrible too. Martin, as alleged. I mean, come on. You could have put man. There's a million.
He doesn't. He obviously does not take advantage of free Grammarly, which if he did, would not recommend sentence structure like that.
Free AI, son. And just throw in like AI.
Don't give him any ideas.
God, no.
Don't make his writing any better.
If I gotta read this shit, make it better. You stupid freaking.
It's more fun when it's this terrible.
He's such an idiot. God, I hate these people. In response, I was skipping that sentence. I got to go back. I hated that sentence so much I was skipping it. Martin, it is alleged by opposing counsel, was called merely to harass her and to create YouTube content for Hale's popular YouTube channel. God, that's awful. Martin, oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. I don't even want to read that sentence again. I want to make fun of it, but I don't. It's just
too.
It makes me mad.
It's a morass of problems.
I'm like, dude, again, do I mess up on stuff? Sure, but you know what? I am not pompous enough to be like, I'm an investigative journalist.
Well, like, what? He doesn't have an editor, and one of the reasons is because no publication with an editor will work with him at this point. So. That's part of the reason why he has all these spelling errors. Most journalists don't have perfect grammar, but that's why we have editors.
It has been alleged that they create not only, terrible articles, but the things that prop them up. A lot of their co-workers, are they real? There's been some allegations about that. Some interesting ones. And if you look at any account that props up their Substack, for example, or again, other names that are included in byline.
Yeah, they don't appear to exist.
Yeah, that's very strange, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, we have phantom people. Oh my God, such a bizarre thing. I mean, you talk about low fucking rent, though.
It's
God,
so
they
bad.
couldn't find somebody better to come in and go after Hales. I mean.
No, because the only people they can find to get on this crazed, bandwagon of theirs are ex-felons, washed up nobodies, and fake rented journalists. There's nobody with a real CV that's going to hop on to Bruce's.
I'd like to remind the
caravan
the ecosystem. I'd like to remind the ecosystem. Since they like to listen, people like to listen off of there, that that paint chip eating fellow, he took advantage of a blind man that was being abused, according to him. He decided, instead of helping him, because he was somebody that said that he needed his caregiver, he needed out of their control. I know they were controlling his money, they were abusing him, doing more. Instead of that, he attached them to the scam. This is according to the U.S. government, which he was convicted of. He attached them to that and exploited them because he would be the face of anything that happened, any repercussion, ramification. So he had hoped, when going out and if everything fell apart, this guy, who apparently, when they describe him, you get the feeling that he has some issues. He's not just blind; he has other disability, and they not only attach him to this, but they set him up to go to jail, essentially. On top of that, going through other papers. So there's a lot more too. I mean, we went through everything that was attached to the case itself that, ended up in the finalized portion, but the other allegations that were there, about a gun in a drawer, for example, threats that were posed to people. I mean, it's just, so much of it is wild to look at. There's a lot more out there, and I guess it becomes relevant since we're talking about people that are going to be asking for money, and this is what these people over there they're supporting. At some point, you would hopefully be like, this is a bad person, like a very bad person. So whether or not you like Jeremy Hale, that is separate from this. Fundraising for a person that destroyed multiple lives. And I mean, they went to prison for it. They tried to rig elections and got caught. They were convicted of it as well. The revenge porn thing, they've tried this before. It was part of that conviction. They created illicit photos. You know the response when they got caught? Oh my God, I'm going to sue the person that reported it. Yeah. So.
Disgusting.
Fun times. Yeah. Anyway, in his response, Mr. Shockett made a material misrepresentation about the nature of the relationship between Mr. Hales and Miss Martin. He stated in part, quote, Miss Martin knew Mr. Hales in 2023 as victim's advocate by virtue of the Ohio protective order in place restricting Miss Preston from having any contact, including third-party contact with Mr. Hales. 2, Miss Martin knew Miss Preston in 2023 as a victim's advocate. And 3, Miss Martin's adult son, again with no other name, assaulted Mr. Hales in 2023. Prior to this assault, Mr. Hales had never knew Mr. Cunningham. Number 1 is false. I mean, again, he's writing this out here. Miss Martin worked for Levy County, Florida. She has nothing to do with the Ohio. Ohio.
Yes, she does. They have to uphold it.
Yes, they do. They still assign you someone. Do you think, here's the question, do you think a victim's advocate is going to be flown in from Ohio for you? Is that how that
what
works?
the hell is he even talking about? They have to obey by other states' protective orders. They are good in all 50 states. There is a letter Jeremy Hales has from the state attorney stating that fact.
She testified to it. It was in her depot. She talked about it.
I know. I don't know why we're even trying. Just read the deposition. You
What an
absolute
idiot. Well, it just shows you when people are
moron.
listening to folks that they've already admitted, even the biggest loudmouth morons, they don't read documents. What they do is they have Preston's lawyer, Preston, and of course money chirping in their ear. All of that together. That's the narrative you're hearing. You're hearing, again, not something that's come out of an opinion, something that's based on anything. No, they're basing their opinion off what somebody else told them. And again, what they can raise money on. So I emailed Mr. Shockett on Sunday and asked him to amend his response because of his material misrepresentation. He has refused. Refused, huh? You mean he didn't respond to your dumbass?
Ha has refused. There it is.
Ha has refused.
Ha has refused. This is almost as bad as Haas long to dying in the cold. Haas long. Ha has refused.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, he's such a moron. I'm so embarrassed that I ever knew him. I'm sorry, but I am. I'm embarrassed I let him on my show.
Friend Megan Fox.
I'm so sorry that I ever called this person friend.
Oh my God! If he wouldn't misinterpret that, I would put that on a shirt. You know, my ex. You should put that on a shirt.
Right. I
Within
should.
parentheses, my ex friend Megan Fox. That would be a perfect merch. You know, you need a coffee cup or something that says it. That would be hilarious. I mean, everything he writes. If people haven't seen that, and again, I am not. We were making fun of it's fine, but the better thing on these morons, you listen to Just Jay, the crew over there. You know, all of them are funny. Like they're absolutely funny. But you don't need to listen to the people who put out these stupid articles. Listen to somebody else read it to you. They'll still read it to you. They'll have plenty of laughs about it. And you give these morons no traffic.
J-Hip's been doing a great job on it.
Oh, yeah. And it makes them so mad. Like, they spend so much time, like, yelling at the wind about shit.
I know.
Rogue mama, freaking sarcasm.
So funny.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I watched that shit show. I watched them on there. I noticed that Paint Chip started trying. He's trying to creep closer. You know, I noticed that he started following me on Twitter. How did I notice? How would I miss? You know, again, he may not have any followers, but holy shit, he definitely has he has a gravity belt. So followers, I guess that's objective. You know. Do things get caught in his gravity? Yes. Does anyone like willingly follow? No. Okay, so it's important to note that currently Preston and Cook are without counsel. What does that matter? What does that matter in here? By the way,
to the bar, it doesn't matter at all. People sometimes go pro se, or they have a lawyer. Either way, that doesn't mean anything to the bar.
Why would that matter in any of this complaint whatsoever? Because it's like he made this material misrepresentation, knowing a lawyer would not step in. Number one, Bruce, this is his talking point. He did indeed put this into documentation. So to say that a lawyer did not bring this up is 100% false. It is what he based his whining and crying complaint on. You know, and he was like,
and by the way, they were not without a lawyer during Amanda Martin's deposition.
Yes,
Bruce was there as their lawyer, and so was John Cook.
It makes it sound like they haven't ever had a lawyer, you know?
Right, and they did, and during the time where he's making this complaint, they had representation. So this is a lie.
Man, sometimes I get to the point where I'm like, is there anything that that isn't a lie?
Yeah, like this sentence is really problematic because here he is talking about Amanda Martin's participation in the deposition, and during that time, Bruce was their lawyer. So saying that it's likely Mr. Shockett made this material misrepresentation knowing a lawyer would not step in is 100% false because Bruce was there and Bruce did step in multiple times.
Not only that, but to say that a lawyer, it would never get brought up, you know, again, this is Bruce's narrative, which, you know, I mean, basically Bruce's, maybe he put on the glove, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I prefer to think of this mental image with a glove because it's, you know, I guess you don't consider sanitary, but yeah, he's working him like a puppet, let's say. Hopefully with a glove. Gross. But anyway, the document 131, yes, you notice this is Bruce complaining about Amanda Martin. So obviously, Bruce was part of that when Amanda Martin was there. Again, this is Bruce's talking point about, you know, it has nothing to do with it. But he's so bad at conveying a point. He should have just taken what Bruce said and copied and pasted it if he was going to be that fucking stupid. No one should ever make Bruce sound like he's smart. God.
That was was that literally his that was his bar complaint? Where are the
no,
where
that filing that I pulled up 131. This is the complaint.
No,
we're
this
reading.
is the I'm still wondering though, where are the bar regulations and the bar rules that he's claiming Randy Shockett broke? I haven't seen any reference to any bar rules, which means this is going directly in the garbage. Where which rules are you alleging that this man broke?
They know it is, because again, while they talk about everything being that Jeremy Hales does is for content, this has no impact. And they know they have no impact. They 100% know it. But this will allow them to use Jeremy Hale's name, and maybe they can get a little super cheddar, in the bank while they're being sued.
They're pretending like they're doing something and they're not really doing anything. And by the way, I highly recommend that the rest of the ecosystem write bar complaints in exactly this format. Please use this as a template. And I'm not going to tell you what to do to make it actually better and effective, but you should definitely do it this way. This is the best way for you to do your bar complaints.
Anything.
If you have any bar complaints for Randy, definitely write them just like this.
Yeah,
exactly like this.
Yeah, it's perfect. Is perfect.
It's perfect.
Well, I mean, they're so smart. You gotta love them all.
I had a sound effect. I was thinking of a sound effect that I didn't put on my board. Boy, was that stupid, because it would have been hilarious. I need the sound of a toilet flushing. That's exactly where this thing belongs.
I found multiple screenshots, by the way. All these people getting together, and they like to pretend, like Lightnet likes to pretend that she is not part of this and engaging in any way, but she's all over that chat where they had the big get together where they can whine and complain. She's all over it complaining about the protective order. she's actually bringing up the protective order, which is wild. I mean, when you think about it, how much more flagrant can you get than, hey, I'm going to bring up the protective order and complain about it? It's so bizarre. But it was her too.
Completely bizarre.
Yeah, she apparently switched accounts too, and they confirmed that it was her, so that was nice.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but she says, quote, actually I need to pull this up here too. Let me take this, let me send this to myself. But she says, because I want to document it, that we need to get this protective order lifted so we can talk freely. I want my freedom of speech back. Isn't it amazing, by the way, that when we were talking about how all these issues for Jeremy Hales, losing his freedom to speak, losing his ability to carry a gun, bear arms, we were all monsters, right? We were attacking a Polo judge and all this stuff. But in Ohio, apparently it's totally game on. Fascinating, isn't it?
Totally. I think I found it. There we go. That's what the bar is going to do with this complaint.
Oh, I can smell that sound effect. Oh.
I got it. I found it.
Here we go. So here is her saying that. By the way, I like to be thorough with this. You can see her in there. Again, this is from that stream. You can see them all up here talking. And you notice there, that's her. We need to get this PO, the protective order, lifted so we can talk freely. I want my freedom of speech back. So she's out there talking about the protective order. She's encouraged. I mean, she was there the entire night, fucking around, bringing up all kinds of stuff with Hales and more. It's crazy. I'm like,
she's so smart. God, how do I become smart like her?
You know why they don't feel like anything's going to happen. I mean, that's it. $50, $100 there. They don't realize, here's a little thing. Since you've already done it, you do realize that this all works into the federal case, right? That it is material that can be introduced. And the reason why is because Bruce opened the door for it. Bruce, when he was going out, he threw that giant shit fit. And there are many documents he did it in, but we pointed out 123.1, where he brings up that specifically. He brings up the protective order. He brings up the violations. He opened the door for all of it. So, yeah, good luck with that one.
The chat was asking, I saw a couple of chatters asking if we're going to read any more of the new filing tonight. Are we going to do that?
We're gonna read some a little bit. And
Cool.
I got one other thing I want to hit before we hit this.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit.
And chat, I did add the toilet to the soundboard because you guys asked me to. Look, there it is. There it is.
One thing in the that filing that I did like, by the way. Let me finish this paragraph here, and then I want to bring up one thing out of it I did really like there. So, let's say it is important to note they didn't have a lawyer, by making this material misrepresentation, Shockett falsely created the impression that the nature of the relationship between Martin and Hales was much more intertwined than it was. That's important because he was on very shaky ground. Wow, what? Legally, what does that even mean? It doesn't have a meaning, you know? He never explains how the testimony related to the case. He did actually do that. He should also be investigated for demanding a frivolous depot. However, my complaint is about the material misrepresentation, which he refuses to fix.
Listen, this is another, they're not going to even look at this because the judge is the one who's in charge of this case right now. And they are not going to step on a federal judge. The bar is not going to step on a federal magistrate in the middle of his case and make any kind of determination about any of this. They're going to say, oh, this is still ongoing. Can't touch it, right in the garbage or in the toilet bowl as it
Well, the funny thing is, even if they did investigate something like that, he's wrong. You know, he's
of course he's wrong. And again, well, I'm not going to help him. I want to help these idiots for some reason, and I keep wanting to tell them.
Well, you want to point out like portions of things that are in the law and stuff. I had to stop myself yesterday. You know, we were talking about all of those videos and the way that they're representing stuff. I was like, you know what? And then I was like, no, no help. But when I looked at them, I was like, yeah, I see some problems right off the bat. You could remedy, but no help. No help for them. Yeah, just keep on filing this kind of stuff, guys. Keep on doing it. But the one thing that I am concerned about, especially where Volmet is concerned, where Darth Touch is concerned, is that he has a reputation for inserting himself into a case so far that he has caused a mistrial. Yes.
And that had some severe repercussions for the woman he claimed to be helping at the time. Yeah,
that's the kicker there. It's not gonna help. I hope Preston understands that. These two people that are interfering, like look at fucking paint chips and this stuff that
it can fall back on her. So I don't think she realizes. And let me try and put it as plainly as I can to Lynette. And I've tried to give her good advice many times in the spirit of, goodwill, for real, the spirit of goodwill, like how to monetize certain things, like how she should react, leaning into the jokes, etc. That was all from a good place. And it's all good advice. This is another piece of good advice. If you hire or allow or recruit people like him to insert himself into your case, for one, he's not an attorney and he has a very bad reputation of really fucking up cases really badly. The person that he claimed he was helping got a lifetime consequence. She lost her children forever because of his interference and causing a mistrial in her case. He literally threatened. He sent threatening emails to the guardian ad litem on her case. And the judge retaliated against her.
Isn't that wild? I mean, to think, like, to do something like that, that's absolutely crazy.
Especially because the woman involved in the case had no idea that he was going to do what he did. And he sent emails that sounded to the judge like threats. And the judge just decided, and he had the power to take it out on the litigant, on whose side this guy was allegedly, advocating for. And that can happen. And it can happen to Lynette Preston. And I don't want to see that happen because maybe I do.
No,
maybe she deserves it. I mean, I don't know, but it's just, I'm warning you, don't let these people tamper in stuff that they're not equipped to do.
I don't like seeing terrible human beings come in like this, because the things that they bring with them, it ain't about Lynette Preston. It's about Hales, man. I mean, you have a guy claiming quote unquote free speech. Well, let's talk about the free speech. He's not just out there putting together what obviously isn't parody. It's him putting together a violation of law. But on top of
An
that, he is
intimidation
making
campaign. Yeah.
he's mentally unwell. A court has found that he is mentally unwell, and he has made threats. He's made overt threats, talking about projectiles, talking about how he was, again, look at his the comments with the anti-Semitism thing. I mean,
How about
he's
the
nuts.
absolutely vulgar and repulsive things he said about Jeremy Hale's mother? I mean, just the idea that you would encourage a guy like this who's clearly mentally unwell. Like, clearly. Come on.
Court noted it.
The court, yeah, a federal judge said it. And also, by the way, Paint Chips admitted it too.
Yeah, until he didn't want to play that anymore.
Exactly. He used it as a bargaining chip. His mental health was not good, blah, blah, blah. But I think we can all see that, he does not
behave. I think we can agree with that.
He does not behave in a way that is necessarily stable, in my opinion. But inviting people in like that is very dangerous to your case, because a judge is not going to look kindly on it. But you're the only one under his jurisdiction. Paint Chips is not. Well, he will be when he gets served, but he isn't right now.
Speaking of that, it has gone out. So it was filed. So we do have him being served. Just to note, that is part of it, everything that's going on too. Notice this. I like this.
It's funny that they're not going to be able to find him, allegedly. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, just look for his mom or whatever aunt he's living.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine he's living too far away from family. Let's put it that way.
So, I mean, he's aware of the effort and everything else. He's 100% aware of it. He's talking about it online. So, can't deny that when it's brought up that if they can't find him, go back to the judge.
You know what? He said he's really excited about being in this lawsuit. So you know what, Paint Chips? Tell Mr. Shockett that you'll accept email service. He's got your email.
Yeah, actually, that would
agree to email service, and then you don't have to go through this. You're excited about it. You said it was the best thing that's happened to you all year, and you're very excited about being in this federal lawsuit. Do what I did. Don't be a fucking coward. Accept email service. I told Bruce to serve me via email. If he's going to serve me, I will accept it. I will accept email service. That's how confident I am that if he pulls me into any lawsuit, I don't have any problem being served. Like, serve me. Do it.
Right.
Why don't you do that? Well, what are you dodging service for? You're so confident. You're so sure this is the best thing that ever happened to you. Then accept email service, you big baby.
Check this out here. So I like this one. I want to show something else before we do any more reading, but I did like this because I was looking through. 96 of the claims said, since May 2023 to Preston solicits money publicly via Facebook, marketing, via GoFundMe project, receiving money from consumers, and from Weeks, claiming she is indigent while withholding her true income, including operating a flea market shop from federal, state governments.
It's finally there.
It is part of that filing.
Boy, that's going to be discovery. Yes,
that becomes part of it. And if you end up having it proved that you're lying about this stuff, you got a real problem on your hands. So, and she has for 100%.
Wait, the one thing he missed here that he should have put in here is that she has withheld, well, I guess GoFundMe projects kind of covers
it put in Weeks and all that. I believe that's all.
Oh, and from Weeks. I'm sorry. It did say from Weeks. I was going to say from the two leads.
Yeah, when I first looked at it, I thought, well, but it does. It concisely.
It puts it all in. Never mind. I apologize, Randy. You got it all in.
Yeah, it was good there. This is okay. So she kind of dropped a little bomb on herself too. And this is fascinating. So she's been, give me 1 second here. There's a thread right now on her Facebook. I picked this up from there, talking about Russell Mix. These are comments that are coming from this. This is why I'm showing that here. Okay, in this, she and John Cook are active, and they make a couple of statements that, frankly, I'm not surprised that they say, stupid things aloud, but I am surprised when they verify things for us. For example, John Cook comes in and says he's talking to somebody and he's trying to blame I'm going to call her Tree Stranger since that's somebody that, Tree Stranger.
Oh,
But
God.
they bring up, remember what Shara was talking about, how there was a report about a certain elected official and an unaliving and all of that?
Yes.
John Cook is saying, oh, yeah. He brought this stuff up. He says this is why they're being asked why they went after him, and then Russell Meeks now is the greatest guy ever. So they're trying to blame other people. There's like, we believe the corrupt Grangers when we moved into the campsite and learned what the truth was. We moved out of the campground when the Grangers there told us they had somebody to unalive Russell. We left and moved off the property, started to see some patterns. So right here, they have confirmed something that Shara was talking about yet again.
Oh, man.
It's amazing. They're trying to spin it. They're trying to place the blame thoroughly on another person, but they're confirming that this rumor that they spread, they're spreading it out online there. They're putting it on the Grangers now. But again, remember, Shara told us that one of the crazy things that she heard from the beginning was that Jeremy Hales was supposedly involved in this conspiracy to take out somebody.
Who did she hear it from?
Who indeed?
LMNOP and John Cook.
Yeah.
So she didn't hear it from the Grangers or the Tree Strangers. She heard
Tree
it
Strangers
from LMNOP and John Cook.
It sounds like a bunch of deranged hippies.
Don't these people have anything better to do than gossip about their neighbors? I swear to God, this whole thing started because of all this rancid gossip.
I just love this, though, because you talk about accidentally going and verifying for Shara. They're giving verification. They give more weight to what's said. On top of that, you also have LMNOP talking about messages. You remember the message stuff that we had? Certain messages like Bruce verified that were coming up. Well, interestingly, any messages being shown, unfortunately, were private messages, Facebook Messenger messages between me and who I thought was a friend. I think we're talking about Shara. And it's a shame that this happened, but those aren't posts, they're messages. And okay, so she's verifying the messages are real again.
They're real.
We have another level. I am so excited about stuff like this.
Thank you, LMNOP.
Yes, you have verified. So the stuff that came out that you said and tried to deny yet again, she said that those messages were false, that the things that were written to Shara, that was a lie. She never said that stuff about John and more. Bam, bam, there you go. They were.
Wow.
Oh, so she verified that. So, I mean, this is an absolute nuke when you think about it, because she went in. She keeps talking about she's going to sue all of these people. But these idiots, they can't get out of their own way. I mean, they wouldn't have a case to sue people as is, in my opinion. But you definitely don't have any case whatsoever when you're the one who wrote it. People have the ability to look at, when you're like, I don't let this person around my kid. My kid said this about them. They said something that's terrible, but I won't tell. When people are like, oh my God,
Maybe CPS should know about that. You called CPS on me. Ma'am, you said your kid was SA'd.
And you said you wouldn't report it because you were
she has no leg to stand on anywhere on any of this. And again, either does Bruce. You cannot sue someone or a journalist for telling a story you asked them to tell. You just don't like how we tell it, but you asked us to tell it multiple times. You don't get to then go to a judge and complain and whine. Oh, judge, they wouldn't tell the story the way I wanted them to tell it. They just had their own opinions, and that's not okay. No, that's not how any of this works, but I look forward to arguing it in court. And I'm going to bring my Legos with me. Don't doubt it.
Oh, I'm going to say it again. Sue
as an
me,
exhibit.
And I will do my damnedest to financially break you as a response to it. They're like, oh my God, people say that. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, I will. Justice is, that's part of it for me. It's part of me. Oh, it sounds vindictive. You're right. I'm a vindictive asshole. You want to fuck with my life? You want to call me vindictive while you're doing it? Yeah, I'm a vindictive douchebag. I will spend the rest of my life making sure that when you try to falsely ruin me, you try to hurt me and my kids and stuff, yeah, I will retaliate. Again, lawfully. But I will sue you, and I will financially break you and every one of your little pals that try to do it. You and your little doggy too. Fuck these weirdos, man. I just love how they whine about Jeremy.
I really want to be deposed about watching a deposition while doing yoga. I want to know how that would go. God. Can we, you know what we need to do? We need to get Omar, oh God, what's this channel called? This is terrible that I can't remember. Remember Omar, the lawyer?
Yeah, I know Omar.
Okay. Anyway, we need Omar will sometimes do mock trials with me. Remember, he questioned me as Laura Owens. Yeah, I want Omar to do a mock deposition of me specifically about doing yoga while watching a deposition. The tilted lawyer. Thank you, Omar. The tilted lawyer.
Man, see, all I think is that's my problem is I think of him as Omar. You know,
I know, me too. And like, I haven't seen him or talked to him in a while. But my God, that would be funny. I'm going to ask him. That would be a really funny like Saturday night stream or something. Have Omar depose me about yoga and watching a deposition at the same time. God, would that be funny?
My God, this is funny. Look at it. I took one of those pictures where, I have all the watches and stuff on my avatar, and I had it turn it into a cartoon. Look at that.
What is wrong with your mask?
I did this weird thing like that. Yeah, I just had to do it because I would just
a spider web.
What's up? What you doing? Watching TV. You stayed up late, didn't you, last night?
Yeah.
We stayed up most of the night, didn't we?
We were watching Pet Cemetery.
Yes, we were watching a movie about some of the worst parents ever. I've come to the conclusion in that movie.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, they're terrible parents in that movie, are they not? Yeah, go upstairs.
Yeah, but we watched the second one.
Yeah. All right. Well, give me a hug. I love you. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss on my cheek right here. Mwah. All right. Go upstairs. You can relax and max it out and have a good time. You feeling better today? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, go do your thing. Okay. Love you. Yeah. What are you doing? You nut. All right. Give me a hug for real. All right, go upstairs. Love you.
So crazy. I saw an orange drink.
What? You saw a what?
Orange drink.
An orange drink. Oh.
How many orange drinks does Mom go buy?
I don't think that's any good. There's no more. I think that's it. So go upstairs.
Maybe Mom has to buy more.
Nobody bought any. What are you talking about? People buying. Nobody's buying. Nobody's buying any Cokes or orange drinks. Those are old. They've been in the garage for like months now. I haven't drank any of them in a long time. That thing's been, that's an old one. But hey, go upstairs, okay, kiddo? Love you. Yeah, so I watched.
Look at Elfie's comment. It looks like a basketball to the face. It does. It looks like a basketball.
Well, that's the thing. It was working off. I can't remember the other. I'd have to look at the original, because it usually, if I say take the avatar and draw it just like it's, or like it's done, it works off of it. So if it's screwed up the avatar, you can see like it did a little different in something like that.
Oh, but that one works though. Yeah.
I like that. Look at that.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Those are ChatGPT versus they do some pretty good cartooning ones. But
I refuse to try it because I don't want to get it. I don't want to pay for another AI service. I'm done.
I like it. It does a lot better than Grok on finding issues and something, but yes, it's way more expensive. I would not pay for it. I'm using it to check over some stuff though, so I need it for something. Otherwise, I would not pay for it. But it does have a free version. It just wears, it runs out very quickly.
Right.
Let me see. I'm pulling up that document here. I'm trying to remember.
We were right after the first Lynette section.
Yeah. I'm
So when you get to
rolling down.
Preston, just roll down.
Yeah. Is that
past-
Preston's actions and furtherance?
I believe
Is that
so.
what it was? It was right after the the cease and desist stuff. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe.
It was
You're
20
on.
something, page 20 something.
Oh, maybe we're past that section.
It was past the first Preston
I've got it.
section, and
Here,
then there's a bold print.
Yeah, I've got it. It's 22. That's what it is.
22. Yeah, that's what the chat says. They're keeping track now. They're taking notes.
Good. Thank you, chat. That's better.
That's what you need to do. Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
Need to tell,
No,
remind
I
us
appreciate it. That's actually very good for you guys to have done that. We'll cover a few pages. We got a lot there. Again, I really wanted to. When I look at this stuff, like the messages from Cook and the message from Preston, those things are important, not just for a Hales, but they're important for us because they keep saying they are going to sue us. And if they do, catalog all that. And I want to make it very clear. I'm telling them point blank, you do this, and I'm definitely going to countersue, and I'm going to wreck you. And I'm not like I'm not like Paint Chips there, who's like, I'll get $5 million. No, it won't be like that. It'll be real.
Yep.
An idiot. $5 million.
10 million. 10 million. He
now.
said he was going to sue for 10. He's going to have a countersue for 10 million. Good luck showing those damages.
No, remember, he did sue the guy that, again, showcased that he had stalked public officials and more. I mean, this is a guy, again, with a history of some pretty bad stuff. So, yeah, the claims that he wouldn't do stuff like that. Really? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, we saw something very similar to the behavior that we've seen pointed at yourself and the things that were claimed by Jeremy. Yeah. I mean, it's very similar. And, all of that, interestingly, it'll be kind of hard to keep your background out of the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be, again, he does, the one thing I can say with Paint Chips, even Paint Chips was like, you can't be pulling Jeremy's kid into this for no reason. There has to be a purpose to having them, which is fascinating. They were like,
he said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. He was the voice of reason. I was like, what in the shit? What's happening?
Then you really know they overstepped
the
line.
But he was giving quite a bit of legal advice to them. Quite a bit.
Which is really weird for a disbarred attorney. Yeah. I don't think he's allowed to do that.
He was telling them quite a bit about what they could do and how proceeding and whatnot. That was very interesting, because again, he was dispensing legal advice. The kind of thing that channels, if you disagree that that's dispensing legal advice, yeah, you look at all those places, all those people that tell you, I'm not doing that. You know why? Because they get sued over that shit and worse. All right, let's pick up on the
Look at
gaming.
How 3,200 people here, by the way.
Oh, that's
have
good.
you
Yes,
hit that like button? Did you subscribe? Did you check to make sure you're still subscribed? Because YouTube is asshole and sometimes they'll unsubscribe you. And if you love this program, if you like it, you got some extra breadsticks, make sure you throw him Tug's way because he's working hard to keep up with the candy habits those girls of his have, which are never ending.
Oh my God. My mom brought over some cupcakes. She was like, I'm just going to leave some cupcakes and I'm just going to come in, she has a key, because again, she can come in and check. She's like, I'm just going to leave some cupcakes. So I go and I look and there's one cupcake left. Like, where did all the cupcakes go?
They snarfed them all.
Oh man. I mean, it was like freaking they had been inhaled. They were all gone. They had demolished them. So I went and looked in the oldest room and she's like, she's like, Sissy eats them all right away. So I have to get some. So I went in there. She had 4 set aside for herself. I was like, good God, man. Yeah. She had chocolate on the edges of her mouth. She was like, I didn't need any. I was like, man, you got chocolate on your face. You can't even deny it.
Oh, God, that's funny.
I did notice today, though, she was talking about something, and her answer, the sarcasm in it and everything, I was like, holy crap, that sounds like me. It's like, man, she's going to be like bitingly funny when she gets older. It's going to be good. Okay. Gaming the malicious conspiracy. By the way, if you'd like to ungame, if you'd like to talk about supporting an endeavor, something that would be enjoyable, while also supporting sugar habits, crafting habits, whatever you'd like to support there, consider sending ye old breadsticks. They are definitely appreciated. It is actually the last day of the month, too. So
It is.
that helps out as
We gotta
well.
close out this month with a bang, you know?
Yeah, let's close it out strong if you all don't mind. That'll be good. I mean, it's, and again, next month, my birthday's coming up. I'm feeling it. I am.
Oh, and I got confirmation that the first package someone sent me to my new P.O. box has arrived.
Heck yeah, faster than the ones I haven't sent yet.
Well, it didn't arrive to my house. It's at the,
the P.O. box,
facility. Yeah.
That's good, though. There's probably some I got to go and check, too. If people have sent stuff, I will check. Because I've photographed everything, but I finally found all the crochet animals that the kids, we went through a massive cleanup of the room, and the little one, she had nabbed a few crochet animals and stuff. So, and she'd been high. She's like, I'm not giving them bags. So I got those bags. So I got to photograph them all, but I finally got them all together. Gaming, the malicious conspiracy to harm Hale. It's the what the hell's conspiracy. I like that he put that as a title, by the way.
Yes, me too.
So on June 19th, 2023, Preston wrote to Miss Shara Wolf, freelance photojournalist at Freedom Public Press. Again, just call her Miss Wolf. Actually, I'll just call her Shara when I run across it. Encouraging Shara to cover her story, stating, last night's video was full of lies and BS. I'm so glad you decided to take this, and I know it's going to take time to build it, but that's okay, because I want to be able to sue him, Shara, and I want to be able to win. That's an interesting beginning to a plot.
Mm-hmm.
June 27, 2023, Preston stated in chat, we need to expose Hales, Mr. Hales. He needs to go under. I want to see him off YouTube permanently. Indeed. July 2023, Hales announced that Mr. Hales would be filing for an injunction against Preston Cook, home state of Ohio. July 2nd, Preston states to Wolf, I need to sue this son of a bitch. I have no clue what jacked his brain and made him come after me, except that one George's girlfriend was on her property, or Martha, and I made her leave because she told me I should give the baby up for adoption. She just makes up some crazy shit, man. July 5th, Preston admitted that Cook had falsely stated on Facebook that Mr. Hale's girlfriend had quote-unquote cancer in her ass. Man, this is so gross.
Ugh.
Regarding this, Preston told Wolf, quote, I can't tell John anything. Read his page. It's nasty. I mean, it's bad too. When even she's telling somebody that at the time she thinks is a good friend there, she's saying that it's nasty and it's gross. You've seen some of the stuff she's said. So, I mean, just keep that in mind. It's nasty. I made him take down this stuff that he wrote about Jeremy's girlfriend having cancer again in her ass. And what he wrote was disgusting. I told him he needed to take that down.
Oh my God.
You want to read here?
Sure. And then Preston provided Shara with the now expired link to the Facebook group where Cook made the false statements. On August 22nd, 2023, Preston published false statements about Hales and Mr. Hales when she forwarded a website link to Shara. This website was titled Jeremy Hales of What the Hales Goes on a Homophobic Tirade. Fake man.
Fake man.
In forwarding that
what
link
is this? What kind of title is that?
Fake man.
Fake man. What does that mean?
I don't even know. I mean,
you are fake news.
In forwarding that link to Shara, Preston said the gay community is not happy. I don't know how she would know, but okay. That same day, August 22nd, Preston wrote an email to the mayor of Peninsula, Ohio, where Mr. Hales is a permanent resident. In this email, Preston makes further false statements about Hales and Mr. Hales. This man has bullied our town clerk into a stroke. He has bullied and belittled and humiliated me, destroyed my tortoise rescue with total lies, called CPS with false allegations 7 times, all because I ran for a seat and he thought I might get over Therese Granger, who at the time I was thought my friend, and I had been speaking terms with, what the hell is this grammar, with Jeremy regarding this communication. Preston told Shara.
It's hard to read some of her messages. They really are hard to read sometimes.
Oh my God, it's insane.
I checked the footnote before, that link.
It's deleted.
So it's
okay.
not a big deal. That's why I didn't even mention it.
Okay. All because they ran for a seat I thought was my friend. I've been on speaking terms regarding this communication. Preston told Shara, this video shows the true Jeremy Hales, the one he edits out and hides. He is stalking my family, my child, and bullying and harassing me by belittling me and lying about me to everyone because I ran with Tree Stranger for a seat on our board. Mr. Hales calls names sick, bullies people, abuses people for financial gain, and you thought it was funny. He's not funny.
Oh my God. His ex-wife and children don't think he's funny. No one here thinks he's funny. It's fascinating that the very people that say kids, never bring them up. They pretend they have some high ground. And then they're like, fuck his kid. Fuck his life.
For sure.
I mean, it's amazing. Causing our town clerk to have a stroke was not funny. God, some of the things they've said are stupid. After a full hearing with Preston and Cook present, September 2023, Ohio court issued 2-year renewable restraining order injunction against Preston and Cook for stalking Mr. Hales and his partner. To date, notice that there, folks, to date. That includes, yes, recent, and we are still seeing it, which they deny. Again, they lie about a lot, but there's video proof. They lie about all kinds of shit, but there's still video proof of. To date, this has not stopped Preston and Cook from continuing their illegal actions against Hales. Mr. Hales, rather than cease, Preston, for example, has demanded that Hales provide her with a list of names and contact information of all its donors. Yes, indeed. I mean, that to me was a fascinating issue in all of this. Bruce, who has done some crazy shit, he wanted access to every person that has ever donated. He wanted all of their information and more, which would have also meant that Preston would have had that information. This is a person he has a protective order against. And I mean, that's nuts. So Preston, in furtherance of pursuit, Miss Wolf of Shara, as a journalist to cover the story, made the following statement to Shara about Hales and Mr. Hales. Thank you for all you're doing. They've gone from this, and she's the greatest, to flagging her channel and trying to cause chaos and hell in her life. Isn't that amazing? I mean that with all my heart. Helping me stop him and get a case against him is going to be the greatest thing on earth for me. Again, get a case against him. I want to sue. I hope to God he settles out of court. Gives me enough money to finish my house. By the way, she has enough money for that. It's not enough. It's not enough. Pay off my stuff. What other stuff? I mean, again, you're talking about some fat stacks there. And get my ex-husband Cook living somewhere else. Again, had that $56,000. She said she wanted $65K. She's had that. She could have gave it to Cook and bought him right out of there. But that's never been part of the plan.
That's not what she wants. He's part of the scam.
Amen to all that. In September 2023, Preston commenced legal proceedings against Mr. Hales by filing petition for injunction for protection against stalking. Circuit Court, 8th Circuit, Levy County, blah, 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 blah. That will be called the stalking case going forward. It's on you.
During the stalking case, Preston pleaded her rights under the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution to not answer questions about the stalking case because the answer to those questions could incriminate her. In September, the stalking case was dismissed in favor of Mr. Hales when Preston filed a notice of voluntary dismissal right before a hearing on Mr. Hales's motions to dismiss the case with prejudice. Unfortunately, as will be shown, by September 2024, Preston had already enlisted her other co-defendants in this case to join the malicious conspiracy to harm Hales. scroll.
Yeah.
Since
I was
May
listening to
of
my kids. I don't know if you can hear them.
Could you hear
listening.
mine a second ago?
No.
They were screaming,
I didn't know.
laughing.
I was wondering if you could hear mine because they were.
Their father must have done something really funny because there was riotous laughing from downstairs. I had to mute myself. Since May of 2023 to
Here, I'm gonna mute. Go ahead. I'm gonna see.
Okay.
Let's give me a sec.
All right. Since May 2023 to date, Preston solicits money publicly via Facebook marketing and via GoFundMe projects, receiving money from consumers, and from Weeks, claiming she is indigent while withholding her true income, including operating a flea market shop from federal, state governments, and consumers. She further fails to declare her income from donations to her 501c3 charity. In actuality, Preston's process and strategy is nothing more than a scheme to enrich herself at the expense of consumers. What?
She was like, she came down here. She was like, Dad, I forgot to ask you, and I apologize, but I ate the last cupcake. I was like, I was like, what if I wanted it? And she was like, well, I guess you still have. No, she said, I guess you still have the memories.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's funny.
That's what that was about.
Well, she's your mom who made them. It's not like you haven't had your mom's cupcakes before.
Yeah.
You know.
I was like, I don't need them anyway. I need to be avoiding those. I'm trying to avoid any kind of really sugary stuff. God, they're good though. Like that's the one thing that I can avoid most things. Ices. I like ices. So when we go to like Murfreesboro, man, I want an icy. I'm like, oh God, an icy. I really want that. I like chai teas. Really like chai teas. So that's something hard to avoid. But then you have those things like, your mom makes. You're like, oh my God.
Just use honey in your chai tea instead of sugar. It's really good.
I don't load my chai teas down with a lot anyway. I try to.
I like using maple syrup in them, and also or honey, or agave works really well too. And that's a lower glycemic sugar.
It makes a good chai tea, by the way. It's crazy enough. At least in Tennessee, I don't know how that's other places. Barnes and freaking Noble, of any place, I wouldn't think. Barnes and Noble, their little, coffee shop in there. Yeah, good. They have really good ones in Tennessee here. I've been to two of them. Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, but they're comparable. For a small town here, we have I think 4 coffee places now. Yeah,
that's cool. Well, that's always good to have. Because
actually, we have the coolest thing. We have these two. I can't remember if they're Korean or it's somewhere from that area, but I think they're Korean. They started working at this pastry place. This couple, and this woman would make donuts all the time, and they were so good. So she decided, I'm going to make I'm going to open my own donut place. And oh my God, man, this lady, every day, her place is good enough that she makes X amount of donuts, in the morning. They make a few hundred donuts, and that's all they'll make all day long. They close down by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they sell everything. It's all gone. Everything they make. They are that good. Best donuts I've ever freaking had in my life. I try to not to get anywhere near that place because I cannot control myself near it. What? I forgot to mention that one of the mods gifted 50 memberships. Did they? 50 memberships?
It's amazing.
That's kind of crazy. That's actually really, really crazy. So yeah, if people, I saw somebody asking about memberships too, like what gets them memberships. If you're commenting, it's random, when they drop in. But if you're active in the chat, that's what it hits off of typically. So just being active in there. Where are you at? I'm sorry, I got distracted with the kid.
I was right at the last one. So Cook's acts and Cook's furtherance of Week's scheme. Cook did the following, and now it's you.
So it's the of Week's scheme. That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
In May 2023, when Hales returned from Ohio for a town meeting, Cook won. pulled a gun on Hales as Hales was driving by on a public roadway to enter Hale's own property. Yes, 100%. Video. 2. May, June 2023. Cook trespassed in truck onto Hale's property with a gun. And when Hales confronted him and requested him to leave, Cook told Hales that if he took one step further, again, he's on his right again. Where are we? We're on his property. So we're on Hales' property when this is happening. He will see something go bang. Like in Florida, that disgusts me, by the way. You know, the Levy County, they should have done something right there. This man entered Hale's property and he threatens him like that while he has a firearm on him. He's saying he's going to do that to him on his own property. So he came to hurt him, to make threats. In May, June 2023, Cook publicly stated falsely on Facebook that Hales committed adultery by having sex outside of marriage. Hale's fiance had, I'm going to say oral with him, adding that Cook had photos to prove it. It's so gross, man. It's just even the thought. It's not even the statement. It's just the person too. Ugh. Yes, I don't even like that. I don't even like that mental image in there. I saw images of Cook walking down the road with the bandage on himself. You know, you imagine this guy. He talks so much shit online too, and in actuality, this is a dude in a walker, like walking around. That's and he wants to be Mr. Tough Guy, and people like that are dangerous because honestly, these keyboard losers, people that talk a big game, they're not smart enough not to use a gun on you. That's the thing. So Cook posted, Jeremy, would you like me to post a picture of my in George's mouth? You can take this one down. Ugh. Gross. So accordingly, on May 23rd, Hales, he hires an attorney who sent the cease and desist. We've seen the cease and desist. We do not need to go over it again. It's essentially right. It's the cease and desist. Just alone. Like
please stop what you're doing.
Yeah. Don't post about us. Don't talk about us or our employees, etc., etc. Go away.
Yep.
All right, your turn.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Despite knowing the falsity of his statements, Cook used his false statements to persuade others to help them in a public campaign to disparage Hales in order to negatively affect Hales' income by persuading anyone who has a business relationship with Hales to stop their relationship with Hales, including customers and vendors, and to remove Hales from YouTube and other social media outlets. Find the lie. Yep.
Well, that's
it's all true
here. Well, I actually like the wording here because it's even worse. Like when we have Bruce step in, look at how anybody that was remaining. Again, we've talked about the feeling on that too. We watched a lot of people stop covering because again, you have vexatious litigation. If that wasn't enough, then you have paint chips and crew. You have a legitimately unhinged person that has been brought into the fray. Most people have stepped away from it. They're afraid to cover it. It's a negative sum. There is no neutral sum at the end of the day. It's negative for a lot of people. They look at that relationship and they're like, I don't want to touch this. I don't blame them, but it sucks.
In July, Mr. Hales announced that he would be filing for an injunction against Preston and Cook in his home state of Ohio. On July 5th, Preston admitted that Cook had falsely stated on Facebook that Mr. Hales' girlfriend had cancer in her you-know-what. Yeah. Regarding this, Preston told Miss Wolf, I can't tell John Cook anything. Read his page. It's nasty. I made him take down all the stuff he wrote about Jeremy's girlfriend having cancer again and you-know-what. And what he wrote was disgusting, and I told him that he needed to take it down. And then Preston provided Shar with the now expired link to the Facebook group where Cook made these false statements. On July 27th, Cook told Shar, well, it sounds like we got rid of Martha. She doesn't want to come back now. We just got to get rid of him, Mr. Hales. On July 30th through the 31st, Cook told Shar, this is why we got to finish the job on Jeremy. Just because he gets arrested doesn't mean we stop nailing him to a cross.
This is so nuts. We'll end on these statements right here, okay? So people can just for tonight. Is that legal? Can we do that though? All these types you find like this put themselves on a pedestal. Real AH. You seen how he's bragging on how he can't believe God gave him so much wealth. He doesn't state it that way either. That's the terrible thing. Like, people who want to find negatives in what you're saying. When you're like, hey, I'm fortunate. I can't believe that I've been blessed like this in my life. And they're like, oh, he's bragging about money. No, you're saying thank you. All the people out there. It's so disgusting how they want a negative out of every statement. Well, he better watch it because God giveth and can also taketh. He better watch it because now he's creating a bunch of ops that will go against him. Looks to me, the party has already begun. Lots of people now dropping him like a hot potato. Boy's mouth is so dangerous, and this type of talk causes a person to get hurt or get him hurt. Huh. That's totally not a threat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking disgusting, man. We'll stop on that right there. I think we can pick up tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's we're definitely planning that, by the way. That way something else will probably come up,
Right.
I'm saying that maybe we'll finally have something on the judge's order that is still sitting where he's allowed now. How many weeks? We were rolling up on a month since that hearing, by the way.
Oh my God!
We will be up on
really?
a month within a few days.
Unbelievable that that judge hasn't ruled. Absolutely unbelievable.
It's a fucking joke, man. It is all a joke. I feel like, I mean, I keep imagining what would have happened to Randy if Randy would have written let's just switch the names out. Not even getting into it. Let's just say Randy would have written that exact letter, and the judge. First of all, his response wouldn't have been the same. But let's just assume it would have been the same, okay? We'll just in this hypothetical. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to put you in jail. You need to show up. Imagine if he wrote another thing and was like, I'm not coming, and didn't show up. Then, after that, and he tried to get the judge removed. Let's not forget that, too. And then after all of that, he decided he was going to litigate the case in a why you're not going to be sanctioned filing. I mean, you think about that. How do you think that judge would have reacted? Because I think that judge would have destroyed his career for it.
I just think this is so crazy. I can't believe it's been a month, and I can't believe that district judge hasn't ruled on the motion to vacate yet. I personally think that's what the judge is waiting on in order to sanction Bruce is the motion to vacate. But I mean, what is he waiting for? It's been a month. Rule on it already. Rule on the motion to vacate. It's clearly trash. Deny it. Move on.
It's just insanity is what it is. I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, for the judge to complain that this has been going on too long and it's dragging out, well, then don't you also drag it out when you have stuff to do?
That's 100%. The guy, he's like, we want this to be expedient. We want this, that. We've been sitting a month. He froze the case while he quote unquote decides what to do. Okay. Well, Bruce, you also, I honestly, I think he should have made Bruce sweat the whole idea that he's going to stay on the case. He should have just let him leave. He should have removed him from the case. But, again, this judge, man, I don't know, man. Anyway, you want to stick around for supers, or you going to bounce?
I got to go. I will see you guys tomorrow. But it was a lot of fun, and we will be back.
It was fun.
It was fun. It's always fun.
We need to go over one of those, one of the faux Megan's responses one day.
We should. I have to run. I've got a Mafia meeting. I got to get to.
Yeah, make sure.
I've got orders to put out. I've got a couple of hamster heads to deliver to certain people's beds.
I wake up with a patty hamster head. Oh no. It's got menthol.
I've got a mentholated hamster head
Oh
in
my
your bed.
God.
You know, I've got things to
It's
do.
got like Vicks Vapor Rub like rubbed all around it. That's
I'm
pretty awesome.
I'm a busy capo. I don't know what I can say other than
Oh
I got shit to do and you know people to scare and troops to mobilize. Yeah, it's good times. Good night,
All right, well, you
everybody.
have a good one. See ya. Oh my God, that's a funny image. With that in mind, let's go. Ventures in homebrewing. Kicks it off. Thanks for the 4 months. Hey, Tug. Thanks for having this place to see what's happening. Hey, appreciate you there. I hope this stuff was interesting. Again, you know, I put in, she dropped a nuke on her whole claim because, again, she keeps claiming that she's going to sue us. They all do. They're going to sue us, and they're going to do one of their big weapons is they're going to do it on behalf of a child. And the problem with all of that is, again, her statements. She made herself. Those statements, that's bad news, you know? When she went out and she made a statement about how stuff had happened, blah, blah, blah. You didn't even have to get to that point. When she made statements about Cook being abusive, if somebody is abusive to the adult in a relationship, then wouldn't it stand to reason they would also potentially be abusive to a child? So when she made statements like that, that was a problem. But now she's going in and confirming this stuff herself. Her lawyer confirmed messages were real one now. Thankfully, she decided to confirm them too. So good job. Good job. You know, green veggies, thanks for there. Make sure it's not a mussel. I'm talking about the freaking the beginning. By the way, I did see somebody type in, if we're going to be late, why not push the time out? Well, the point, it is late. You know we're going to be at least 8 minutes late. I aim for 8 minutes. If we're later than that, it's because we're either discussing something that came up, because that happens sometimes. Hey, did you see this? This is, you know, there. Also, sometimes we talk about maybe this, that, or the other, you know, should we show it, blah, blah, blah. But 8 minutes is so we don't have to repeat the whole beginning of the show. Hey, what did I miss? Just got here. What did I miss? I learned that in my first year. I spent a lot of time retreading ground. And it was like, man, you know what? Spend 8 minutes, let people build up. They'll know you're here. Put on an intro that's about 2 to 5 minutes, and then good to go. But that, I mean, that's part of that. Jack, so if you look at it and you say, hey, we're going to start at 7, consider just say 7:10, and then you should be good. You should pop up typically in the intro. So, Jack, thanks for the 5. Hey there, thanks for doing what you do. You and the Fox Mother are the best. Well, thank you, and thank you for being here too. That's awesome. Joan dropped that $10 super sticker, by the way. Thank you, Joan. Appreciate those. Love them. As much appreciated. Cynic in Chief dropped this. This was awesome too. King's motion for reconsideration denied. He is so messed up with that stuff, by the way. There's see the 15-minute. That is late for me, by the way. You know, sometimes we hit that, and that is indeed late. I consider that late. I don't like to be 15 minutes. Today we were looking at something that it's not going to be public yet. Let's just say it that way. Okay. So we were talking about some of the things, how they, I guess, work together. You know, you want to report on what's happening in the moment, but you also don't want to stop idiots from really making mistakes too. So, you know, you got to balance that. But yes, that was late there. Buck Naked, appreciate you there. Carol, thanks for the 5 there. Loving life. We love you, Tuggy Megan. And love you back too. Love you all. You know, much appreciated for sure. It's been an incredible journey. It's been an incredible year. You know, Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Hey, Tug and Megan. Hey, return, man. Appreciate you. And again, Max Lab sent over that that letter from Darth Touch. You know, the whole complaint. Yeah. So props to Max Lab on that one too. That one was absolutely hilarious. I mean, it was so. It wasn't just written poorly. It was not informed at all. It wasn't ill-informed. It was wrong, 100% wrong. The person that he's talking about They said the opposite. They let that be known. And he would know that too, but he's stupid, man. Death's Angel, thanks for the 2. Mine doubled this year too. We let them in. Yeah, indeed. That's what they do. We're talking about property assessors. Yeah. I don't invite them in. They don't even ask here. I don't even know if they came around to look. Jada, thanks for the fun. For breadsticks, property, taxes, and lockpicks for Buck. Indeed. She made a bunch of them, by the way. So she, last night, I told you she was trying to get into her sister's room. So she made all these lockpicks. You heard her come in. She made about 6 or 7 different tries with paper clips. She just made this whole stack of lockpicks, and they're hilarious. I got a bunch of them like sitting here, but she was so convinced she could break into her sister's room. She couldn't keep her out. And you know what? She was right. She did make a little lockpick where she could get into her sister's room. She has one of those really basic, the little screw on the side, where you can just turn it with a flathead screwdriver or anything. Well, her sister, and again at 5, I was like, man, that's pretty creative. She was like, I'm going to take a paper clip, straighten it out. I'm going to set it, get it flattened down a little bit. I was like, man, she created a prison shank. She also, had this was funny. So, those candies that they look like a lipstick almost, they push up. It's like a push pop of some kind. Well, she came to me and she was like, check this out, Dad. I've got my, she doesn't call them push pop. I can't remember what she called them, but I'm going to say push pop. It's a push pop shank. I was like, a shank? What the heck is a shank, kid? You even know what that means? Her sister had told her that word, So she made a push pop weapon. She made a shank. I was like, never make those again. So you make a lockpicks and shanks. I was like, no, this isn't good. It's funny though. I was like, don't make shanks out of your food. A freaking shank, man. Oh my God. Candace, thanks for the 10 months there. Yay. It feels like more than 10 months. It's been a crazy time, hasn't it? Is it a good thing or bad thing? Just kidding. Well, it's definitely not good on the people that's happening to, but it is fun and crazy for us all to get together, so we'll look at it that way. Bernice, thanks for the 31 freaking months. That's wild, Bernice. Wow, almost 3 years. I know, it's wild, dude. Now time flies so fast. So all is well. I know. When I look, I can see channel. Excuse me, my throat is. If I clear my throat, I've got sinuses murder on it today. But yeah, I can see through my channel kids growth, and it's crazy to see. Just J-Hip, thanks for the vibe. He gets his clothes behind the Goodwill. They have a vomit pile they put out at the end of each month of 30 year clothes they could not sell. That's beautiful. That's a lovely idea. So that gold at the end of the rainbow we were talking about the other day, it's not going to be it's not going to be paint chips there. It would be him with
This is a tiny light. It doesn't even hurt your eyeball.
It hurts when you point it my way. Like if it's really, if you point it right at somebody. Yeah, see, that doesn't feel good on your eyeball, but it's really hard to get blinded by, isn't it? Are you giving me my flashlight back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a flashlight ready, but it turns off every single second. Look, Look at it.
Yeah, you gotta hold it. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, go play. Let me go through these. Okay.
Do you see this?
I do see it.
Yeah. You have to wait for it?
Yeah. I see it. All right. But hey, take it upstairs.
See, it turns off. I can't be.
It's not bright like this one, is it?
Yeah.
I know,
It
it's crazy.
keeps going off and on. It goes off and on.
No.
I
I know, you got to go upstairs though. Yeah.
don't
Well, do you want
even
to?
have a flashlight.
Well, you want my flashlight to take with you? We can charge it back up. You want me to charge it back up? It's about halfway. You want to keep it until it dies? Or do you want me to charge it back up?
Charge it back up if it dies.
All right. I'll charge it back up for you. Love you.
I'm still in the dark.
All right. Yeah, well, here, I'm going to charge it up for you, okay?
Okay.
There you go. 1 second. Yeah, look, I plugged it in, okay? It is plugged in. She's got a rechargeable flashlight she's been using. So I have one of those What type is this? One of those Torch 250s. I like that thing. It's bright as heck. She was playing with a little lightsaber and calling it a flashlight. She was like, look at my flashlight. That's what she was doing there. Oh, but like I was saying, what's funny about Just J Hip's his narrative there. We were talking yesterday about the gold at the end of the rainbow, and the leprechaun, who would it be? We were talking about paint chips being that. But no, first of all, there is no gold. It's just a pile of old Goodwill freaking shirts. And you would have to fight Darth Touch to get them. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Rosalind, thanks for the 5. I wrote Jay's super chat. Well, it was a good super chat. you monsters, you monsters. Poor Darth Touch. It is kind of sad, like watching him, because he certainly cannot match you guys for real. You're Scotland, thanks for the month there. Hey, Tug. Hey, Megan. Hope you're well, Megan. I tweeted you a link today. I'll do more letters. I'll mention that to her. Thank you. Chris, thanks for the 2 months there. From Queensland, Australia. Well, appreciate you Australians out there. Love returned to you folks. By the way, from good old Tennessee out here. Rye, thanks for the 5. I put a comment on Megan's X post after Darth Touch criticized her. He commented, Raya. Ooh, are you trying to chat me up? Yuck. Hashtag skin crawl. Oh, yuck. Could you imagine him hitting on you? Oh, man. Gross. Ugh. It's just an awful thought. Oh, I wonder what kind of pickup line he would use. God, could you imagine how bad the pickup lines? I bet they would be misspelled. Oh, Lord. I wonder, let's see, like worst pickup line. Worst pickup line. I'm looking it up real quick. The worst pickup lines are 50 of the worst pickup lines. Oh, God. That's a terrible. Oh, there's so many lame ones here. This one. If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. It's so bad and cringy. Oh, that's a bad one. I could hear that coming out of there. Oh, that's so awful. Are you an orphanage? Because I want to give you kids. Oh no! I gotta stop reading those. This is terrible. Thanks for the 5. My kids have learned the ABCs since this all started, and I don't remember the origins. Why do people hate Hales again? Why do they hate them? Well, a lot of these people. It really depends on the person. Some of them have pre-existing relationships. You have something happen in that. Some of them think that that they are owed his success, like it should be theirs. Some of them have bought their way in. Some of them feel like it actually gets them a little bit of subscriber eyes, I suppose. People like, people like Ray are sad, I think. Because that guy, what has he managed with it? I mean, was he salty? He didn't get enough people watching after Megan and freaking DUI guy boosted him, so he had to join up with the worst fucking people out there, to the point that he sits on panels with a convicted extortionist and a fraud, talking about other people with BJ remarks and stuff, while he again sits and flexes on how good of a Christian he is. So, why? I mean, ultimately, I've been asking that for how long now? It's scary. Well, I have my favorites. Thanks for 5. To the Tug Father and the Fox Mother. We are ready to take care of business. I'm skilled in Minecraft and making cement shoes. Hey, right there. You can Minecraft up some cement shoes. That might work out. Just J Hip. Thanks for the 2. Have we got my margin orders? Yeah. Well, correcting that now. You should be getting them soon. SF, thanks for the 5 there. I've been listening to Megan for about 1.5 years or so before What the Hales. She was at 40K subs, fighting the constant YouTube Subpurge to 50K. Indeed. You know, actually, what's funny is me covering this case for this long, where I haven't covered anything, that's actually negative toward the channel. I every month I lose about 1,000 subscribers covering, and that's okay. You know, I want to cover what I want. I picked them up from another thing, and people want you to chase. They misconstrue because you've commented on a celebrity case that I want to cover celebrity cases. I didn't cover a celebrity case because of that. I covered it because it was a freaking false allegation. I thought it was terrible. And yeah, so this idea that, oh, Hale is giving, no, actually, it detracts, but it's the right thing to do. I think it's the right kind of case to cover. You know, if only celebrities have people step up and look at what's going on, then we have a really broken way of seeing things. Rosalind, by the way, and tell Jay to super chat that. That's so funny. Every time Jay super chats, you're gonna have something like that. Yep, love it. Sandra, thanks for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Sandra D. Sandra D. Thank you, appreciate that. I have my favorites. Thank you also for a gifted membership too. Thank you. I have my favorites. Appreciate you a lot, by the way. And a lot of beads coming out of the house, so thank you. But yeah, thanks for the 15 minutes till break. That's funny. Yeah, every 15 minutes. I don't think it means just 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes. That's the Bruce allegation. That's hilarious. A ball python king dropped a 2 there. There's not a statement attached, but it is a statement in backing. Thank you for the backing. Thank you for that statement. It's awesome of you. Auntie Audie, I like that. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you, because I appreciate gifted memberships more than really anything, because I love how they just fall in and do everything. It's great. Dwayne, thank you for the 2 there. That's why Rosalind is awesome. Yeah, Rosalind. I mean, that crew of folks there are funny. They're funny, they're interesting, they have a good time. One day I'm just gonna open them. I'm gonna have them on and we'll goof off one day. That way it can really break the minds of of all these idiots, you know. We can actually talk about all the stupid talk about whether or not that's punching down. If a guy, no matter how many subscribers they have, it's almost like they're fighting with their arms tied behind their back. Is that assault? We'll say. It's so funny. Just one person's opinion. Thanks, it's good to see you, my friend. Thanks for the 10 there. Is my breadstick money? Fox mother, please let me back into the den. It sounds like a song, you know. It sounds like a country song. The fox mother kicked me out yesterday. DTG, thanks for the 5 there. Oh, moment, made a boo-boo. Indeed. Emailed Randy something about work on the Sabbath. As a protective Jewish people should know better. That's true, actually. That is true. That's terrible. Why would he do that? Knowing. And then when he didn't get a response, you know, he's like, you didn't respond to me right away, therefore. I mean, come on. This dude, I'm telling you, he is like an ex-girlfriend that you've rejected. It's so bizarre. I get so many freaking stupid. Yep, let's see. I got one yesterday, apparently. I'm looking through spam, because dude spammed so much. That's exactly what it was. The spam filter started picking him up, you know, and I thought that was kind of fascinating. But when I look at that, yep. Now he slowed down a little bit on all the stupid melons. Every now and then I really think about mocking him in a letter, but I think, man, you know, I'll get involved in it. It'll suck up most of my day because it'll be funny. What an idiot, though. Carol, thanks for the 2. Can't stop laughing. Oh, that's how I feel when I read his letters. Becky, thanks for the 5. Forget 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's 6 degrees of LMNOP. Oh my God. You know, you could play that. That would be really funny, wouldn't it? Just J. Thanks for the 5. I don't know an editor that can fix this garbage. That would be the best editor in the world. I know you'd have to have a lot of talent for that for sure. That is funny. Just J. Thanks for the 2. Oh, hype. Yeah. That's J. on the brain. That's what that is, isn't it? The P. That's exactly what it is. Never thought about that. He can't even write. He's like, I used to be able to say, oh. Now without you, J. He just can't. Oh, my Lord. That's awful in its own way. Becky, thanks for the 5. Martin was assigned to Hales for the lawsuit he filed about the sons. He was then a victim. Well, the thing that they don't like is that she was assigned, and they don't seem to get the idea that she testified about being assigned to. So, I mean, you're 100%, Becky. All they had to do was a little, like a modicum of research, like reading the document they're talking about. That's what bothers me. Again, I'm not saying that I don't get things wrong. That happens. I don't write bar complaints based on that. And I definitely don't pretend to be an investigative journalist. I'm not out there saying, oh, look at this. I'm arrested. You know, so ridiculous. Yeah, thanks for the 5 there. I thought Jeremy was giving Amanda. And John pulled up. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, well, you know, with their argument, they want to pretend there is no way that it could have happened anyway whatsoever. They just want to pretend that she was never attached at all. Let's see. The letter states who had no relation, has no relation to this case, has no relation with Jeremy Hales, and on top of that, said that the son had an altercation with Hales. So they admit that. Like in his letter that he's writing, he admits that. Now, what's fascinating about that to me is, again, how does that happen? If there is no relationship that ever happened before, and then suddenly, out of the blue, you have the son of this person who is connected with this other person assaulting a guy, why does that happen? And an investigative journalist, a real one, would ask why. Why does something like that happen? But somebody that's bought and paid for, they shake their little fists and pretend none of that matters, right? Linda, thanks for the 20 there. For the kids, leave it alone. That does not happen. Yeah. I mean, like I said, for me, I could definitely lock the door or something, but that's terrible parenting. So I don't go that way. Oh, I was saying this, by the way. So I was watching Pet Sematary last night. Yeah, I don't know if you've watched Pet Sematary. If you have, if you've seen it in a while, but those parents are the worst parents ever. They move out to a very busy road. The story is about, just condensing this very quickly. People move into this area. There's a little pet cemetery out back. And in the back of it, there's some Micmac Indian burial ground that's it's cursed, corrupted, whatever. The soil's gone bad. If you're buried there, you come back, but you're not yourself anymore, animals or whatever. So these people, they bury their cat ends up getting killed on the road. They bury it there. Kid, same issue, and so on. If you haven't seen it, it's fascinating. It's creepy. But the parents know that this road is terrible. In fact, they almost had their kid ran over once by this road. So what do? They have it again, where even though they've already had this issue and it's consumed one of their pets, still have this. And it's like, oh my God, these are the worst parents ever. What's awful. Lady Horse, thanks for the vibe. Tug and Megan, these idiots will never learn. No, they don't, and they won't. They don't learn. They don't want to learn. They're idiots. Bug Naked, thanks for the vibe. Tortoises, a century of life expectancy. Unless you're in a shell thing sanctuary, then 3 years. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the condition of the animals. That would be another thing as an investigative journalist I might have questions about. You know, you've seen some of these pictures. You've seen the breakdancing turtle. I like to tell myself it's a breakdancing turtle. You've seen the allegations of a thief coming in and stealing another turtle. You've seen the balding chickens and more. So that might be a way to go, unless you're a rent to own sleazebag. White Screaming, thanks for the tune there. For a lockpick kick from Amazon. Oh my God. There may be I may have gotten a sample lockpick kit from back in the day. You know what? I didn't think about that. I'll see if there's one around. It would be funny. I would actually go on AliExpress or something and buy one just as a joke. But, because they used to be like $2 or $3. But now with the stupid tariff crap, they're double plus. And again, that is not. I'm not trying to get political in that. That annoyed me so much. It was like my $2 phone case became $5, and yeah, the same phone case being sold by a U.S. company, exact same one. It was already selling for $20. So no. Bootsy, thanks for 3 months and counting. Indeed. Thank you, by the way. Thank you there. K-Matt, thanks for the 5 there. Bakery box with a lockpick. A lockpick proof lock. Oh, my Lord. That would be funny if you had to get to that level, right? You got the kids in there trying to pick the locks on a bakery box. That's actually a funny idea in my head. My dog, thanks for the 2. Big Caddy Mob Boss needs trunk space. Indeed. You always have to have that trunk space. That's 100%. Melrose, thanks for that. Please tell me if you read the email. Charming the Prince. I just want to make you make a laugh. I have read through Charming the Prince, by the way. I did read that. Now, I don't know if Megan has, but I did look through that. And yeah, it was pretty funny. So I did indeed. Your mom. Yo, mom, 5977. Thanks for the 4 months. I saw the disgusting twerking show live. Oh, it was pretty wild. I thought he must have a hamster or something in his shorts. Gross. This thing he was saying were awful and saying litigation privilege. Yes, that's so dumb. He essentially is saying, I can say anything that I want because now that you sued me, I can defame you to any level and it doesn't matter because we have active litigation. That is the stupidest fucking idea that I've ever heard. Like you cannot be held liable for anything that you're doing. Like you just somehow suing a person has given them this blank check. It's absolutely insane. I thought, man, this guy. But remember, though, he was the trial by combat lawyer. If you want a good laugh, look him up. Look up Paint Chips. Like, look up not the conviction, but look up his trial by combat. Look at this picture, where he thinks he's fucking going to throw down with some people. He thinks he's a badass. Like, in his mind, he's a mobster / a knight. It's so fucking funny. Oh, it's so bad. Lily, thanks for that. But he is mentally deranged. I do want to include that. He has, again, documented by court mental problems. And when you look at his letters, I can see the mental problems. So him being a joke, yeah, that pretty much is that's clear. You can see it. But I don't want the punchline to be in that someone tries to pump a projectile into my forehead, because he's deranged. He is. That's what I worry about with someone like Mr. Hale. Your mom, thanks for the 20 there too. Also, yes, it did appear as though the disgraced lawyer was giving legal advice. Yes, legal assistance and advice. It did it not? That's how I took it as well. Bug money for candy, by the way. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And yes, it did indeed come across like that. Big time. SF, thanks for 5. But doesn't she have a case against him, according to her? She wouldn't need to get a case against him. Doesn't she have a case against him, according to her? Are you talking about, you're talking about Meeks? Is that who you're talking about with all that? I'm curious if you could let me know what you mean on that SF, because I didn't catch it right when it came in. So I can't remember who all we talked about in the moment. That could have came from a document or something. Your mom, thanks for the 5. She forgot to mention that one of the mods gets 50 members trying to lurkers. Can you out a lurker? Can't or doesn't comment. Can you out a lurker? I can see everybody that's here. I can actually tell that any account, even a lurker, yeah. If they're in the chat, I can see them. So could I out them? Sure. You know, if somebody's sitting there, but at the same time, I don't really care. You know, if they want to boost my numbers, then let them. But yes, you can indeed see lurkers out there too. Sticky Widget drops up 5 giftos. Thank you, Sticky. Appreciate that, my friend. Hey, Tinsel, DP, thank you. Dropping that 50 there. Thank you. Woohoo! I'm a member. Love you guys. Hey, love a return there. Appreciate that. That is awesome. I wonder if you got did Sticky hit you with one of those, by the way? That's cool. That is much appreciated. Thank you. Colleen dropped a 5 there. Thank you for a great show tonight. Thanks, Megan and Tug. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Dr. Reed, thanks for the 20 there. Cupcake money. Indeed, for Doug's mom to make you some more cupcakes. Mom's cooking trumps anything. Yes, that's intrigued. You know, that's one of the things. I was talking to my mom the other day. We were talking about my grandmother. And, you know, we were talking about good things. You know, you sometimes get together and you miss somebody. You know, and it's been a while since my grandmother passed away. But we were talking about, she used to make she made all this good Southern food. Oh my God. So good. Man, so good. You know, she cooked all the time. But she made this chocolate pie that was just amazing. When you look at it, it didn't look like that much. You know, the presentation wasn't about that. She just whip up a pie. And she'd whip up pies all the time. There'd always be a pie out, you know. But, God, they were good. That's the one thing, man. Southern grannies. Woo. Good stuff. Wheezy Wheels. Thanks for the 5 there. Wanted to thank everyone for their support. I've finally started the ball rolling to get help process loss. Good. It, you know, remember, there is not a time limit on grief. Just remember that. It is okay to grieve. It is okay to need help too. That is 100%. So those two things, they can coexist. You will. It's just in your mind, what happens with grieving, at a certain point, you ask yourself, why? And the why isn't just about because they're lost, but it's what was lost that brings you up the good memories, and you remember them. You know, you remember, you're a testimony to that person. You are their living legacy. So, you know, and carrying that forward. They were good people. And when you're mourning them, obviously they were. You carry that, you carry the life lessons, but you carry the memories. You can tell people about it. You know, it's good. But I'm glad you're doing that. Love to you too. Bug Naked, thanks for the 5. If your first statement is, I'm an investigative journalist, you're not an investigative journalist. Indeed. If you need to tell people, that is true. Gail, thanks for the 3 months. Been with you since Johnny Depp. I've been a member for 3 months. Hey, first of all, thank you both ways. Thank you for the memberships on there, but also, hey, thank you for being here. You know, it's been a crazy run, and I appreciate all of you. It's good. It's fun. It's fun to cover cases, but it's worthwhile. You know, you don't honestly have something that's worthwhile that you get to do all the time. So I think that's great. Let's set up Shizzy. Let's go over and redirect you to him. Give me 1 second. I need to set up the redirect. That filing's crazy. Yeah, Shizzy is alive though. 1 minute and I'll have the redirect set up and we'll be good to go. I appreciate you all showing up today too. Oh, I love these live streams. Tomorrow we'll be with Megan. We will continue the filing. That is a large filing. Again, we could have just hit high points on it, but I don't think that's the way you go. I think you hit it all. You know, there were a couple of lines in there that if we wouldn't have gone through everything, I would have missed. You know, a couple of lines that actually meant something. So I think when we finish covering it, then we go back and we remind ourselves of everything that was in the document too. But I've set the redirect up. Go over, raid Shizzy, tell Shizzy Tug sent you. Get that tug rate on. But love to you folks, and we will see you next time. Appreciate you.